What if you could retire decades before your parents without winning the lottery, inheriting wealth, or working 80-hour weeks? Most people are stuck in the same old script. Go to school, get a job, save a little, and hope to enjoy life at 65 if they're lucky. But that plan is broken. Why wait for freedom when you can create it now? This book isn't about cutting out your favorite coffee or living like a monk. It's about learning how money really works, multiplying it, and building a freedom fund that lets you live life on your own terms, long before anyone expects you to. If you're ready to stop trading time for money and start designing a life you don't need to escape from, you're in the right place. So retire before mom and dad. Start today. Rob Berger is a personal finance expert, founder of the popular blog Dough Roller, and author of Retire Before Mom and Dad: The Simple Numbers Behind a Lifetime of Financial Freedom. A former securities lawyer and Forbes deputy editor, Rob is known for simplifying money, investing, and financial independence. Through his books, podcast, and newsletter, he helps people achieve financial freedom with practical, easy-to-follow strategies. Dough Roller is a popular personal finance blog created by Rob Berger. It offers easy-to-understand tips on saving, investing, and achieving financial freedom, helping readers make smart money decisions. Here are a few of the more juicier things it covers. The 5 money myths that are keeping you from a life of financial freedom. The step-by-step plan you need to save money without giving up your favorite hobbies. How the rule of 857 turns pocket change into thousands in savings. The Superpower: you have to become wealthy on just about any income. How to achieve financial freedom with autopilot investing. The 7 levels of financial freedom and what it takes to reach each level. Chapter 1. We've been duped, unmasking the money myths. Hey there, future financial freedom fighter. Ever feel like you're just going through the motions? You're talented, you're creative, you're working hard, but deep down, there's this nagging sense that something's off with the whole money game. Like you're living a normal life, but it doesn't quite add up to what you truly want. You're not alone. What if I told you that when it comes to your money and true happiness, most of us have actually been subtly misled? Think about The Matrix. Remember Neo? He was a regular guy grinding away, but his gut screamed that reality was more than it seemed. Then his guide, Morpheus, delivered the truth. The Matrix is everywhere. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. Just like Neo, the world has pulled a fast one on us about money and genuine happiness. These deceptive messages come at us constantly. Slick commercials, perfectly curated social media feeds, even well-meaning advice from friends and family. They're relentless, sometimes obvious, sometimes hidden, and they're all designed to keep you on a specific path, a path that often doesn't lead to your ultimate freedom. I call these deceptions the 5 lies. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. This is your personal red pill moment. Lie number 1, you need a huge salary for financial freedom. This lie is pervasive. Unless you're raking in 6 figures, got a trust fund, or win the lottery, forget about building wealth or truly being free. It traps us into thinking we're stuck in the paycheck grind. It feels logical, right? Let's run the numbers. Imagine a creative professional making $50,000 a year throughout their career. If they manage to save just 10%, that's $5,000 annually, how could they ever hit millionaire status? Over 45 years, they'd only have saved $225,000 of their own money. Looks impossible on paper. But what if I told you that same person, consistently investing that $5,000 a year, that's just about $416 a month, could realistically accumulate over $3.4 million? Yes, you heard that right. That's the mind-blowing power of consistent investing and compound growth. We'll dive deep into exactly how this works later, but for now, know this: your starting salary doesn't determine your financial finish line. Lie number 2, financial freedom takes 40 years or more. This lie whispers, maybe, just maybe, if you pinch every penny and deny yourself all fun, you might retire in your late 60s or 70s, but you'll be too old and tired to truly enjoy it. This is a massive demotivator. Why bother striving for a goal that feels so distant and dreary, right? Here's the liberating truth. Financial freedom isn't some far-off retirement age. It's a journey, and you can start enjoying the benefits of financial freedom much, much earlier than you've been told. Freedom isn't just a destination, it's a process, and you can begin experiencing it in your 20s, 30s, or 40s. Line number 3, happiness is expensive. This might be the most insidious and damaging lie. The world constantly screams that real happiness requires the biggest house, the latest luxury car, that giant TV, and endless exotic travel. Without these things, you're missing out on living your best life. And who's selling us this idea? The very companies that profit from your purchases. This lie exploits your habits. We often spend money not from a conscious choice, but from ingrained routines and unconscious patterns. Once these habits form, they're incredibly tough to break. As the legendary investor Warren Buffett famously said, chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. When you try to do without or cut back, it feels painful, like a huge sacrifice. That's when lie number 3 has you in its grip, like quicksand. Lie number 4, investing is complicated. The investing world can feel like a foreign language, full of confusing jargon, scary headlines, and an air of exclusivity. It's often designed to make you think you need a finance degree or that it's only for the super rich or Wall Street types. Perhaps this lie has kept you from setting up your 401k, contributing to an IRA, or investing on your own. Maybe you've even hired someone, but you don't really grasp their decisions or how much they're charging. But what if investing were incredibly simple? What if you could build a strong, diversified investment portfolio? Yes, you can. With just a couple of easy-to-understand investments, spending no more than 30 minutes a year to manage it, it's not a fantasy. It's totally achievable, and I'll show you how to cut through the noise and simplify it. Lie number 5, debt is a fact of life. Finally, the world tells us to simply accept debt. Everyone has it. It's just part of growing up, they say. Student loans, car loans, credit card debt, mortgages, it's all presented as the normal way of adult life. This lie makes us feel okay about getting into debt, and we even call some of it good debt. Combine this with the idea that happiness is expensive, and suddenly we're funding our desired lifestyle with credit cards, deciding if we can afford something based only on the monthly payment. And then, if we ever meet someone truly debt-free, we immediately look for reasons why they're different. Maybe they live a super minimalist life, or they got lucky. We make excuses to justify our own debt-ridden reality. The hedonic treadmill, caught in the cycle. These 5 lies weave together, creating a powerful trap. They push us to chase shiny new things for temporary bursts of happiness, only for us to quickly return to our baseline. This is what we call the hedonic treadmill. That awesome new gadget or cool experience you bought 6 months ago, it's just normal now. That raise you got last year, old news as you fret about the next one. We're constantly running, buying more, seeking the next thrill, but never truly getting ahead in terms of lasting happiness or contentment. I know this treadmill intimately. I used to be a champion runner on it. I did all the right things. College, $55,000 in student loans, a lot back in 1992, trust me, and working 70 to 80 hours a week in a demanding career. My wife and I earned well, but we spent almost all of it. We bought houses, had kids, bought bigger houses, took vacations, the quintessential American dream. We were on track for the typical path, work until 65 or 70, then retire. We would have missed out on so much life. But in 2005, everything changed for me. Just like Neo, I saw the illusion. I realized all the stuff we'd accumulated, supposedly in pursuit of happiness, was actually chaining me to endless labor. I had a country club membership, fancy cars, expensive watches. This was the good life, supposedly. But none of it made us truly happier. I knew I needed more, not more stuff, but more life. So on June 12, 2005, I made a radical decision. I wrote it down. We will be totally debt-free by June 12, 2012. 7 years. It seemed absolutely ridiculous, given our huge mortgage, home equity lines, student loans, and credit card debt. The numbers screamed, no way. And guess what? We failed. We weren't debt-free by that exact date. But we were debt-free by 2016. And in that very year, at the age of 49, I retired from my 24-year career. Trust me, failure never felt so good. In just 10 years, my entire life transformed. That commitment to becoming debt-free led me to start a personal finance blog in 2007, which then grew into a podcast and eventually writing for Forbes. Today, my life looks nothing like it did before. Back in 2005, I was commuting 2 hours a day into Washington, D.C., working 40-plus hours and buried under debt with minimal savings. Today, I'm retired from that career. I never have to work again, though I choose to work on projects I genuinely love. And my commute? It's the short walk from my bedroom to my home office with a crucial stop for coffee. That's true freedom. Your red pill moment in the Matrix, Morpheus offered Neo a profound choice. The blue pill or the red pill. Take the blue pill and you wake up back in your old life. You'll never know the deeper truth or your true potential. Life goes on as normal. Most people choose this, staying comfortable in the illusion. They're the blue pills. But take the red pill and you see the world as it truly is. You uncover your power, find your purpose, and discover a path to financial freedom you never thought possible. This book is your red pill. It's here to open your eyes to a world of financial freedom you've never imagined. Are you ready to take it? If you are, I promise to be your guide. I'll be Morpheus. You'll be Neo. You are the hero of your own story. You are the freedom fighter. But don't make this decision lightly. As Morpheus warned, this is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends, you wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. So, freedom fighter, are you ready to see the truth and embark on your journey to retire before mom and dad? Let's dive in. Chapter 2, Your Game Plan for Financial Freedom. If you don't know where you are going, you'll end up someplace else. Yogi Berra. That quote nails it, right? To get where we want to go with our money, we need a clear roadmap. And that's exactly what this chapter is. Your game plan. I call us the freedom fighters. We're a growing community, young and old, who believe that the absolute best thing money can buy is financial freedom. And I'm here to be your guide on this incredible journey. So how are we going to do this? Our game plan is broken down into 5 powerful parts. Part 1, your superpower, the money multiplier. Every hero needs a superpower, right? Neo had his Matrix abilities, Luke Skywalker had the Force, Wonder Woman had superhuman strength. Well, you, my friend, have one too. I call it the money multiplier. Imagine this. For every dollar you save, your money multiplier magically adds 5, 7, even 10 more dollars to it. Or what if you could turn $225,000 into over $3 million without working extra hours or changing your lifestyle? That's the power we're talking about. The money multiplier is how we build your freedom fund, the money you need to fund your dream lifestyle, and, if you choose, replace your job. Without it, building true financial independence is incredibly tough. In part 1, we're going to unlock exactly how this superpower works and how you can wield it. Part 2, defining and achieving financial freedom. Once you understand your superpower, it's time to put it to work. In part 2, we'll demystify financial freedom. We'll explore what it truly means for you and, just as importantly, what it isn't. The beauty of financial freedom is its flexibility. If you're in your 20s, you could use it to retire in your 30s or 40s. If you're in your 40s or 50s with less saved, it can help you retire comfortably on time. Or if you love your work, financial freedom simply empowers you to do it without the pressure of a paycheck. My job is to show you how to achieve it. What you do with that freedom is entirely up to you. Part 3, the cost of happiness. Small changes, big impact. This is where the rubber meets the road. In part 3, we'll dive into how small, smart adjustments to your daily spending and habits can propel you toward financial freedom. And guess what? Many of these changes won't feel like sacrifices at all. In fact, they can actually improve your life. We'll cover 3 key concepts here. 1, the money audit. Discover a simple way to find hidden savings without drastic lifestyle changes. 2, the power of habits. Learn how your daily habits are shaping your financial future and how to build wealth-generating routines. 3, the myth of sacrifice. Prepare to challenge long-held beliefs. You'll learn that seemingly big sacrifices can actually lead to more meaning and opportunity in your life. This section might challenge you, but it's worth it. Part 4, Autopilot Investing, Making Your Money Work for You. Investing can sound intimidating, right? It doesn't have to be. In Part 4, we'll debunk the myth that investing is complicated. This is critical to supercharging your money multiplier. I'll show you a simple, effective, and automated way to invest. We'll also cover powerful retirement accounts that act like rocket fuel for your freedom fund. You'll learn how to leverage these tools to accelerate your journey to financial freedom. Take a deep breath. We're making this easy. Part 5, Practical Considerations, Overcoming Obstacles. Finally, in Part 5, we'll tackle real-world challenges. Debt, especially student loans, car payments, or credit card debt, can feel like a huge roadblock. We'll cover strategies for managing your debt while simultaneously building your freedom fund. Before we jump into the details, a quick heads up, we all have an inner voice, and sometimes it can be a real jerk. It might tell you, you'll never have enough. You're not smart enough to invest. Financial freedom is for rich people, not you. When that voice pops up, just recognize it. Acknowledge it. Remind yourself that it's just a voice, not your reality. And then keep moving forward. Ready to begin? Let's do this. A special message to parents. Dear Mom and Dad, I'm Rob Berger, the author of Retire Before Mom and Dad, and I'm writing to you with a message that holds both immense promise and a gentle challenge. First, the inspiring news. Your son or daughter is about to embark on an extraordinary adventure. They're stepping onto a path that will fundamentally transform their lives, leading them to financial freedom at a pace you might scarcely believe. This isn't just about money. It's about unlocking a future filled with choice, purpose, and the ultimate gift of time. Now, for the heartfelt truth. As their journey unfolds, you might find a flicker of envy. As a father myself, I understand the deep desire we have for our children to thrive. But let's be honest. Seeing your own child achieve financial independence while you're still navigating the daily grind can be a tough pill to swallow. It's natural to feel that way, and it's something to prepare for emotionally. But what if I told you there's an even more powerful possibility? What if you could join them on this incredible journey? The very insights that will empower your children to achieve financial freedom in their 20s, 30s, and 40s can just as powerfully serve you in your 50s, 60s, and 70s. Even if your savings are modest, or perhaps even non-existent, this book holds the keys to getting back on track. The same visionary strategies that enable some to retire early can ignite a new path for those who started later, empowering them to retire not just on time, but with renewed purpose and joy. It is, truly, never too late to reclaim your financial destiny. Imagine the joy, the connection, the shared freedom. Wouldn't it be far more wonderful for your son or daughter to retire with Mom and Dad rather than before Mom and Dad? I wholeheartedly invite you to step into this future alongside us. With hope and conviction, Rob Berger, retired at 49, again at 51, and joyfully back to work. I love at 52. Chapter 4, Unlock Your Money's Superpower, the Money Multiplier. Ever feel like true financial freedom is some far-off dream only for the super rich or lottery winners? Think again. You, yes, you have a superpower hidden in your hands right now. The money multiplier. It's not magic, it's smarter than magic, and it's your key to building serious wealth. Ignore it, and you'll always be playing catch up. Embrace it, and you'll redefine your financial future. Your dollar's hidden potential. Most people see a dollar bill as, well, just a dollar bill. They spend it, save a tiny bit, and repeat. But what if every dollar you earned held the potential for so much more? What if it was a tiny seed that with the right conditions could grow into a mighty oak? That's the core of the money multiplier. Imagine hitting the lottery jackpot, a cool $1 million. You have the winning ticket, but you forget to check it, toss it in the trash, and never claim your prize. Sounds ridiculous, right? Yet that's exactly what most people do with their money, just on a slower dollar-by-dollar basis. They don't realize the incredible value and potential each dollar holds. Every time a dollar comes your way, you have a choice. Spend it or put it to work. The ultimate employee's spending is necessary, of course. We need to cover essentials like rent, food, and clothes. We also enjoy our wants, streaming services, a nice car, that gym membership. No judgment here, enjoy your life. But the dollars you don't spend, those are your future employees. And let me tell you, these are the best employees you'll ever hire. They don't complain, don't ask for raises, never sleep, and work 24/7. Put them to work in the right way by investing them, and they do something truly incredible. They attract more dollars. At first, it's a trickle. A small bit of interest here, a tiny dividend there. But as your original employee dollars work alongside these new ones, a powerful force kicks in. Compounding. Your saved dollars earn more dollars, which then earn even more dollars, and so on. It's like a financial snowball gaining momentum, turning what started as simple savings into real life-changing wealth. The proof is in the numbers. Mind-blowing numbers. Let's get real. Imagine you're making $50,000 a year, and to make it harder on ourselves, you never get a raise. You also manage to save just 5% of your income. That's about $208 a month. You do this for 45 years from age 22 to 67. Scenario 1, no money multiplier, mattress savings. If you just stuffed that $208 a month under your mattress for 45 years, you'd end up with a grand total of $112,320. Not bad for a mattress, but definitely not enough to comfortably retire, especially when you factor in inflation. You just saved, you didn't invest. Scenario 2, unleashing the money multiplier, investing. Now let's introduce your superpower. Instead of stuffing it under the mattress, you invest that same $208 a month in something like a mutual fund. Don't sweat the details yet. We'll cover investing later. Let's assume a realistic average annual return of 9.3%. What changes? Absolutely nothing in your effort. You don't work more, get a second job, cut out vacations, or live on ramen noodles. You simply invest your money. And the result, your nest egg skyrockets from $112,320 to a staggering $772.76. Let that sink in. You saved $112,320 of your own hard-earned money. The money multiplier, your invested dollars working tirelessly, added nearly $1.6 million to your wealth. That's over 93% of your total. Your savings, $112,320 contribution, $1,595,752.76. Your total wealth, $1,708,072.76. This isn't theory, it's the undeniable power of compounding. It's why the money multiplier is your ultimate superpower, why this matters for you. Two crucial takeaways from this eye-opening example. One, our brains struggle with compounding. It's hard to grasp how $208 a month can turn into $1.7 million. It seems impossible, but compounding makes the seemingly impossible possible. It's like building an empire brick by brick, where each new brick helps lay more bricks even faster. Two, wealth comes primarily from investments, not just saving. Saving is the fuel, the starting point. But the massive growth, the true wealth creation, comes from putting that fuel to work through smart investments. This isn't just for the ultra-rich. It's how everyone builds significant wealth over time. Think of it like being on a moving walkway at the airport. You're walking, saving, but the walkway, the money multiplier, is moving you forward at an accelerated pace. The longer you stay on, the faster you go. Over your working life, you'd put $112,320 of employees to work. Those employees earning a 9.3% return generated 14 times more wealth for you, nearly $1.6 million extra. That's your superpower in action. Understanding this connection, how your consistent, modest savings combined with the power of compounding can create millions, is the first step toward realizing your financial potential. Key concepts. We don't intuitively grasp the power of compounding, which I call the money multiplier. The money multiplier consists of just three parts: amount, time, and return. By understanding how the money multiplier can generate far more wealth than our savings alone, we take the first step towards a lifetime of financial freedom. Let's start with time. Chapter 5. Your time, your fortune. Lost time is never found again. Benjamin Franklin. Ever wonder what a single penny could become? No, we're not talking about a rare collector's item, though a 1792 birch cent recently sold for $1.2 million. Pretty wild, right? We're talking about the raw power of your money, amplified by the one thing you can't get back: time. Imagine starting with just 1 cent and letting it grow. If you could somehow invest that penny back in 1792, earning a solid 9.3% return annually, guess what it would be worth today? A mind-blowing $4,892,563.14. Yeah, you read that right. A penny. Nearly $5 million. That's the magic of compounding, and time is its secret sauce. This isn't just a fun math exercise, it's the fundamental principle behind your financial freedom. The longer your money has to grow, the more it multiplies itself. This is the first and arguably most crucial ingredient in your money multiplier. Think of it like this. Your financial future isn't a sprint. It's a marathon where every early step makes a massive difference. We often talk about a 45-year working career, and while that feels like ages, it's a powerful window for growth. 45 years ago, things were wildly different. A gallon of gas cost 53 cents, and Leonardo DiCaprio was just born. The point is, time flies, and so does the opportunity for your money to grow. The cost of later. Now let's get real about delaying. We all have that "I'll start tomorrow" voice, especially when it comes to long-term goals. But with investing, tomorrow comes with a hefty price tag. Let's revisit our goal: building a nest egg over $1.7 million by investing just $208 a month, earning a 9.3% return over 45 years. Sounds awesome, right? But what if you waited just 1 year? Instead of investing for 45 years, you start after 12 months, investing for 44 years. That small delay of $2,500 in contributions, a year's worth of $208 per month, seems minor, doesn't it? Think again. That 1-year delay could cost you an astounding $153,554 in lost wealth. Yes, you read that correctly. Why? Because you miss out on that critical last year of compounding when your balance is at its highest. That single year alone could have generated over $150,000 for you, and it gets worse. Delay 5 years, you lose out on a staggering $643,197 Delay 10 years, you kiss goodbye to over $1,047,937. Delay 15 years, that's a whopping $3,302,020 gone. 20 years, you're down nearly $462,889.69. The compounding that supercharges your gains also amplifies your losses when you procrastinate. The power of the head start. Let's drive this home with a head-to-head battle. Meet Samantha. She's fresh out of college, lands her first gig, and immediately starts contributing $208 a month to her 401k. She's a smart cookie, investing for just 10 years straight. After that decade, life happens and she stops contributing another dime. But her initial investment keeps growing. Then there's William. He's equally capable, but for whatever reason, he waits. He waits for 10 years before he finally gets serious and starts investing $208 a month. He then contributes consistently for the next 35 years. Who do you think ends up with more money, assuming they both earn that 9.3% return? It sounds like William, right? He invested for 3.5 times longer and contributed way more money, $87,360 versus Samantha's $24,960. But here's the jaw-dropping truth. Samantha, who only invested for 10 years and then let her money sit, ends up with $1,047,937. She became a millionaire just by starting early. William, despite contributing almost 4 times as much over a much longer period, ends up with $660,135.60. The moral of the story is crystal clear. Your earliest investments are your most powerful ones. They have the longest runway to compound and snowball into a massive fortune. Don't despair. Just start now. Some of you might be thinking, hold on, retire before mom and dad implies sooner than 45 years. And what if I'm already in my 30s, 40s, or even 50s? Excellent points. This chapter focuses on the unbeatable power of time in the money multiplier. In part of this book, we'll dive deep into strategies for accelerating your path to financial freedom, no matter your starting point. It might require some strategic choices, but you absolutely can get there. The key is understanding the building blocks. Time is your ultimate financial superpower. Don't let it waste away. In the next chapter, we'll dive into the second critical component of your money multiplier, the amount, how much you save. 3 key takeaways. 1. The absolute best time to start saving and investing is today. Seriously, like right now. 2. Delaying even 1 year costs you tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars over the long run. Procrastination is incredibly expensive. 3. If you're starting later, there's still massive hope. While you might have to make different choices, understanding the power of time is your first step to catching up. Keep reading. You've got this. Chapter 6. Think small, earn big. Be faithful in small things because it is in them that your strength lies. Mother Teresa. Ever feel like saving money is only for people who make six figures? Think again. My mom, a retired teacher, has a quirky but brilliant trick. She saves every single $5 bill that comes her way. Seriously. She pays cash for most things, but a $5, that goes straight into savings. Sounds tiny, right? Yet this little habit has helped her stash away thousands of dollars. This chapter is all about harnessing that think small power. We're diving deep into the amount component of our money multiplier, showing you how even the smallest shifts in your habits can snowball into massive wealth. The power of a few bucks. Remember our example from earlier chapters. Saving $208 a month for 45 years at a 9.3% return rockets you to over $1.7 million. That $208 is roughly 5% of a $50,000 annual salary. Now let's play a game. What if instead of $208 you decided to round down to $200 a month? It's just $8 less, maybe the cost of 2 lattes. How much difference could that possibly make? A whopping $65,695 in levens. That's how much you'd miss out on over your working years by making that seemingly tiny, insignificant change. But what if you flip the script and round it up to $225 a month? How much more would you have when you're ready to retire? An extra $139,602.10. See? Small amounts of money, consistently invested over time, transform into colossal piles of cash. That's the magic of the money multiplier at work. The rule of 857, your weekly savings superpower. Let's zoom in on a shorter time frame. In 2013, I had Mr. Money Mustache on my podcast. This guy retired at age 30. No lottery win, no inheritance, no Hollywood fame, just an engineer who saved and invested aggressively. He shared a powerful concept that I've adapted for you, the rule of 857. Here's how it works. Take any recurring weekly expense, no matter how small, and multiply it by H.857. That number reveals how much you would have if you invested that money for 10 years. Earning our assumed 9.3% annual return, the average return of a 70% stock, 30% bond portfolio over the last 90 years. Let's put the rule of 857 into action with some common weekly expenses. 3 lattes a week, 12 squares a week. $12 plus 857 equals $10,284. Cable TV, 25 a week. $25 back 857 equals $21,420. Eating out twice a week, $30 as 857 equals $25,700. More car than you need, 40 week, 40 as 857, $34,280. More house apartment than you need, 50 first week, $50 857 equals $42,080. All of the above, 157 week. 157 at 857 and 134,549. Mind-blowing, right? And that's just over 10 years. The rule of 36,036, the long game. Now let's stretch that out to a 45-year investment horizon using the rule of 36,036. 3 lattes a week, $12 by 36,036, $432 week. Cable TV, 25 a week, $25 by 36,036, $900 down 900s. Eating out twice a week, 30 by 36,036 equal 1,081 More car than you need, 40 week, 40 by 36,036 and 1,441 More house apartment than you need, 50 week, 50 by 36 equal 1,008. All of the above, $157 week. $157 buys 36,036, 5,657,600. These numbers aren't meant to make you panic or feel deprived. They're here to spark a revelation. So what? Your freedom awaits. You might be thinking, so what? Are you telling me to give up everything I enjoy just to save for some far-off retirement? Absolutely not. The so what isn't about ditching Lattes, canceling cable, or moving into a tiny apartment. The so what isn't even just about retirement decades from now. The so what is this: small amounts of money, strategically invested over time, explode into huge piles of cash that can genuinely change your life. You have the power to build incredible wealth by making simple, intentional choices. And these choices won't diminish your happiness. In fact, they'll likely enhance your sense of control and freedom. We've been fed the lie that you need a fortune to start investing. That's simply not true. As you'll discover, even $25 a month can get you on the path to financial freedom. This isn't just theory, it's a fact. What you do with this powerful reality is entirely up to you. Remember, I'm just your guide. You're the freedom fighter. 3 key takeaways. Small actions, huge impact. Even minor adjustments to how much you save and invest will create massive wealth over time. Weekly wins add up. Those seemingly insignificant weekly spending habits can be your secret weapon to achieving financial freedom. Start small, dream big. You don't need a mountain of money to begin investing. Every dollar you put aside is a step toward your incredible future. Chapter 7: Investment Returns. Long-term compounding is an investor's best friend, so why get in its way? Guy Spear. You've heard us talk about the firm money multiplier, that magical force that turns your consistent efforts into serious wealth. Now, let's get into one of its most powerful ingredients: investment returns. Simply put, how much your money makes for you. Imagine being able to predict how long it'll take for your money to double. Sounds like a superpower, right? Well, thanks to a 15th century Italian mathematician named Luca Pacioli, you can. He laid out a principle we now call the Rule of 72. The Rule of 72, your money doubling shortcut. The Rule of 72 is a super simple way to estimate how long it takes for an investment to double at a given annual return rate. Here's how it works. Divide the number 72 by your expected annual rate of return. The result is the approximate number of years it will take for your initial investment to double. For example, if you're earning a 7% annual return, your money will double in about 10 years. 72 for 7 equals 10.2. Bump that up to a 9% return, and your money doubles in just 8 years. 72 equals 8. See how a seemingly small difference in return can shave off years? That's the money multiplier in action, even with a single lump sum investment. While the Rule of 72 doesn't account for ongoing contributions, it's a brilliant way to visualize the power of your returns. The power of a percentage point or even less. Let's dive into why those percentage points matter so much. Over the past nearly 100 years, 1926 to 2017, a balanced portfolio of 70% stocks and 30% bonds has historically returned an average of 9.3% annually. Now, no one can guarantee future returns, but this gives us a solid benchmark to think about. What if your returns were just a tiny bit lower? A 0.3% difference. Remember that example from Chapter 6, where investing $208 a month for 45 years at 9.3% grew to over 1.7 million? If that return was just 9.0%, a mere 0.3% less, your total wealth would shrink by over $167,000. A 1% difference. Now imagine your returns drop by a full percentage point to 8.3%. That small 1% difference compounded over 45 years would mean you'd lose nearly $500,000 from your freedom fund. Yes, you read that right. $494,568.90 gone. It's easy to dismiss 0.3% or even 1% as small. After all, your bank might offer 1% interest on savings, or your credit card gives 1% cash back. But when it comes to long-term investing and the money multiplier, these small percentages make an enormous life-changing difference. Take control of your returns. The key takeaway here is this: your investment returns matter a lot. Even subtle shifts, amplified over decades, can dramatically impact your financial future. This isn't about chasing risky, sky-high returns, but about understanding how compounding works and making smart choices that optimize your growth. We'll explore exactly how to do that in Part 4, Autopilot Investing. You've now seen how time, amount, and return interlace to forge your money multiplier. Every small decision you make today about when you start, how much you save, and how your money is invested is like planting a tiny seed that will blossom into a mighty financial oak tree. Passion are 3 key takeaways. The rule of 72 is your quick and dirty tool for estimating how long it will take to double your money, highlighting the incredible power of your investment returns. Even small changes in investment returns, like just 0.3%, can have a major impact on your long-term wealth. A larger change, like 1%, can literally mean hundreds of thousands of dollars more or less in your freedom fund, illustrating why maximizing your returns smartly is so crucial. Chapter 8, Unlock Your Financial Freedom. The secret to happiness is freedom, and the secret to freedom is courage. Thucydides. Ready to build a life where you call the shots, not your paycheck? This chapter is your roadmap to financial freedom, understanding what it is, what it isn't, and how you can achieve it faster than you think. Forget everything you thought you knew about being rich. We're talking about real, lasting liberation. What financial freedom isn't. Let's clear the air. Financial freedom isn't about a massive paycheck. We all know someone pulling in big bucks who's constantly stressed about bills. They're stuck in the golden handcuffs, making a lot, but spending even more. High income without smart money habits is just a fancy trap. As they say in Texas, big hat, no cattle. A giant house, or all the stuff. The American dream often pushes us to buy more house than we need, leading to decades of mortgage payments that drain our wallets and our peace of mind. And those shiny new cars, designer clothes, and latest gadgets, they might look good on Instagram, but they're often funded by anxiety and a mountain of debt. Don't fall for the illusion. People don't post pictures of their late payment notices or sleepless nights stressing about money. So, what is financial freedom? It's simple. Financial freedom is when your savings and investments generate enough income for you to live comfortably without needing to work a traditional job. Imagine waking up each day knowing you have the power to choose what you do, how you spend your time, and who you work with, or if you work at all. That's the ultimate goal. Sound impossible? It's not. It's a journey, not a sprint. And to help you track your progress and stay motivated, I've broken it down into 7 levels of financial freedom. The 7 levels of financial freedom, your action plan. Here's the crucial insight. These levels are based on your expenses, not your income. This is a game changer. Why? Because the less you spend, the less money you need your investments to generate, making financial freedom much easier to achieve. Think of it like lowering the hurdles in a race. It makes crossing the finish line a whole lot simpler. Let's dive into your personalized path. Level 1, 1 month of expenses saved. This is your crucial first step. It might seem small, but hitting level 1 means you've broken free from the paycheck to paycheck cycle. You have a 1-month cushion for when life inevitably throws a curveball. Think about it. A Federal Reserve study found that 40% of Americans couldn't cover a $400 emergency with savings. Just imagine the peace of mind with a full month's buffer. Level 2, 3 months of expenses saved. You're leveling up. At level 2, you've got a solid emergency fund that can handle most unexpected expenses, a car repair, a medical bill, or even a short career transition. This is the minimum most financial pros recommend, and you're already ahead of the curve. Level 3, 6 months of expenses saved, time to pop the champagne. Responsibly, of course. You've maxed out your emergency fund, giving you serious breathing room. 6 months of expenses saved means you can handle significant emergencies, even extended periods of unemployment. Reaching this level proves you have the discipline and persistence to go all the way to level 7. This is where your confidence truly takes off. Tashash, level 4, 1 year of expenses saved. Things are getting really interesting now. 2 big wins here. 1, job security on your terms. With a year's worth of expenses saved, you're not trapped in a job you hate. You have the freedom to navigate career changes, and with the average person changing jobs 12 times in their lifetime, this flexibility is golden. 2, the money multiplier kicks in. This is where your money starts working for you. While your initial savings get you through the early levels, at level 4, your investments really start generating significant returns. Imagine this. If your annual expenses are $45,000, Reaching level 4 means you've saved $45,000. Earning a solid 9.3% return, that $45,000 could generate over $4,000 in the next year alone, nearly as much as you're saving from your paycheck. That's the money multiplier in action, and it's exhilarating. Level 5. 5 years of expenses saved. You've officially surpassed the lifetime savings of most people. If your annual expenses are $50,000, you're sitting on $250,000, $250,000 in your freedom fund. That's a huge accomplishment. Your investments are now generating income approaching 50% of your annual spending. This level also brings a crucial benefit: true independence. I remember being at level 5 during a particularly unpleasant job. My boss was yelling at an employee completely out of line, but I wasn't scared. I knew I could walk away if I needed to because my financial cushion gave me that power. Less than a year later, I took a pay cut for a new opportunity, a risk I could take because I wasn't chained to my salary. It was the best career move of my life, all thanks to level 5 financial freedom. This is where your savings transform into options and power. Level 6, 10 years of expenses saved. This is a major milestone. At level 6, your investment income will start to equal and then exceed your annual spending. Picture this. If your expenses are $50,000 a year, you'll have $500,000 saved. At a 9.3% return, that fund could generate over $46,000 in the next year. Soon, your money will be making as much as you spend annually. Like a financial snowball rolling downhill, your wealth is multiplying right before your eyes. You're building serious momentum. Level 7, 25 years of expenses saved, the ultimate freedom. Welcome to ultimate financial freedom. You've done it. At this level, you can choose to retire completely from traditional work, pursue your deepest passions full-time, or work on projects you genuinely love, like I do, running my blog and podcast and working as a deputy editor at Forbes. The choice is 100% yours. I was able to retire from practicing law at 49 because I reached level 7. Now I do what I'm passionate about and I still earn an income from it, but it's my choice. This is the feeling you've been working for, the freedom to design your life on your terms. Tashash, key insights from your freedom journey. Before we dive into the how, let's solidify some critical takeaways about these 7 levels. It's a journey, not a destination. You don't have to wait until level 7 to feel the benefits. Each step forward empowers you with more choices, more peace of mind, and more freedom to live life on your terms. Track your progress, stay motivated. These levels give you a clear, measurable way to see how far you've come and how close you are to your goals. Seeing your progress fuels your motivation and keeps you pushing forward. Your spending matters more than your income. This is huge. Whether you make $40,000 or $40 million, the time it takes to reach financial freedom hinges on the percentage of your income you save. That's why celebrities and lottery winners go broke. Huge income, but even bigger expenses. Debt is an anchor. While the 7 levels don't explicitly include debt, understand this. Debt increases your expenses. Every dollar you pay towards a credit card, car loan, or student loan means you need more saved to hit each level. Imagine needing an extra $300,000 for level 7 just to cover $1,000 in monthly debt payments. The good news? Pay off that debt, and not only do your expenses drop, but that money is freed up to fuel your freedom fund. The 4% rule, your financial freedom formula. Why 25 years expenses? It's based on the 4% rule, a guideline that suggests you can safely withdraw 4% of your investment portfolio each year without running out of money. So if you need $50,000 a year to live, you'll need to save $1,250,000, $50,000 by 25s. That 4% withdrawal works out perfectly. The money multiplier is your superpower. This is why the later levels, despite being numerically much larger, don't take proportionally longer to reach. When you're just starting, your savings contribute the most. But as your freedom fund grows, your investments start generating more income than you're saving from your paychecks. The money multiplier truly accelerates your journey in the later stages. Age can be an advantage for mom and dad. Those closer to traditional retirement age often have advantages like Social Security, Medicare, and sometimes pensions. These external income sources reduce the amount you need your investments to generate, lowering your level 7 target significantly. While you're building your own path, it's good to understand how these factors play into the overall picture. In the chapters to come, we'll break down the exact numbers, how long it really takes, and the practical steps you can take to leverage the money multiplier and hit each of these 7 levels, ultimately helping you retire before mom and dad. Key takeaways. Financial freedom is about how much you spend, not how much you make. Achieving financial freedom is a journey, not a destination. You'll feel the benefits as early as level 1. The money multiplier is the superpower that propels you to level 7 financial freedom. Chapter 9. How much should you save? Whatever it takes. Remember Jack Butler from Mr. Mom revving a chainsaw, ready to do whatever it takes to add a wing to his house? That's the energy we need when it comes to saving for your future. Just like there's no single right way to add a wing, there's no one-size-fits-all answer to how much you should save. But you can figure out what it takes for you to retire before mom and dad. The trouble with rules of thumb. You've probably heard of the common savings rules. Save 10%, a classic popularized by the richest man in Babylon. The idea is simple. Pay yourself first with 10% of every dollar you earn, and you'll build wealth. It worked in 1926, and it still works today. Save 15%. Financial guru Dave Ramsey often suggests 15%, emphasizing the need to get serious about retirement savings with gazelle-like intensity. It's not about a magic number, but about commitment. Save 20%. Elizabeth Warren's 50-20-30 budget advocates putting 20% of your income towards savings, 50% for needs, 30% for wants. These are great starting points, and frankly, saving even 10% puts you ahead of most people. The average U.S. savings rate hovers around 6 cents. But here's the kicker. None of these rules alone tell your unique story. They don't account for your age, your current savings, your goals, or your dreams. Why your savings rate matters. A lot. Let's see just how much these different saving rates can impact your future. Imagine you're earning $50,000 a year and consistently achieving a 9.3% annual return, which is a solid long-term average for market investments. After 45 years, here's the astonishing difference. Save 10%. 10%, $5,000 per year, you could have over $3 million. Save 15%, $7,500 a year, you could be looking at over $5.1 million. Save 20%, $10,000 a year, a whopping $6.8 million plus could be yours. See the massive jump from 10% to 20%? We're talking millions. This isn't just about big numbers. It's about the freedom those numbers represent. Beyond the rules, your personalized plan. While those numbers are inspiring, they don't yet tell you exactly how much you should save. To truly crack your personal savings code, you need to understand 2 crucial concepts: your saving rate and your spending rate. We'll dive deep into those in the next chapter. For now, remember this. Rules of thumb are helpful guides, but they don't replace thinking for yourself. A 22-year-old crushing it in tech needs a different plan than a 55-year-old starting from scratch. Your financial journey is unique. 3 key concepts. Many rules of thumb exist for saving, and they can be a solid starting point. While helpful, rules of thumb don't account for your unique situation. Always think for yourself. Make informed decisions about your finances, and you'll unlock your path to financial freedom. Chapter 10. Expect the unexpected and dominate it. There is only one kind of shock worse than the totally unexpected, the expected for which one has refused to prepare. Mary Renault, The Charioteer. You've got big dreams, right? A thriving career, creative freedom, maybe even that perfect urban loft. But life, as they say, happens. Cars break down, unexpected medical bills pop up, or maybe a dream opportunity requires you to take a few months off. That's where an emergency fund swoops in like your financial superhero. It's not about fear. It's about freedom and flexibility when life throws a curveball. Last chapter, we chatted about those golden rules of saving, 10%, 50%, or 20% of your income. Now let's see how those numbers supercharge your journey to financial freedom, especially when it comes to building your emergency cushion. Here's the simple truth. The more you save, the less you spend. Obvious? Maybe. But this simple relationship between your saving rate and spending rate is pure gold for your financial future. Think of it like a seesaw. One goes up, the other goes down. And you, my friend, are in control of that balance. How fast can you build it? A common rule of thumb, and a smart one, is to have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses tucked away in an emergency fund. But let's start even simpler. How quickly can you save just 1 month of expenses? It all boils down to that saving spending seesaw. Let's look at two young pros, both making $5,000 a month after taxes. Frank saves 10%, $500 a month, and spends 90%, $14,500 a month. Stephanie saves 20%, $1,000, and spends 80%, $4,000 a month. See the difference? Frank needs to save $4,500 for 1 month of expenses, while Stephanie only needs $4,000. Not only is Stephanie saving more each month, but her target is smaller. She's basically running a shorter race and is faster at it. She wins every time. Want to know your speed? Here's the simple formula to figure out how long it takes to save 1 month of expenses. Spending rate, saving rate equals months to save 1 month of expenses. Let's apply it. Frank, 90%, 10% saving, equals 9 months to save 1 month of expenses. 80% spending, 20% saving equals 4 months to save 1 month of expenses. Stephanie builds her emergency fund in less than half the time. This isn't just about saving more, it's also about needing to save less because you're spending less. It's a double win. The slingshot effect. Accelerate your financial freedom. Remember the Apollo 13 mission? When disaster struck, NASA used the moon's gravity to slingshot the crippled spacecraft back to Earth. In the same way, your finances can benefit from the slingshot effect. Every dollar you don't spend not only increases your savings, but also decreases how much you need to reach your financial goals. It's a powerful 1-2 punch that propels you faster towards financial freedom. Check out how quickly you can build just 1 month of emergency savings at different saving rates. 5% saving rate, 19 months. 10% saving rate, 9 months. 15% saving rate, 5.7 months. 20% saving rate, 4 months. 25% saving rate, 3 months. 30% saving rate, 2.3 months. 35% saving rate, 1.9 months. 40% saving rate, 1.5 months. 45% saving rate. 1.2 months, 50% saving rate, 1 month. This illustrates the incredible power of thinking long-term. Want a 6-month emergency fund, what we call level 3 financial freedom? Saving 5%, that's 9.5 years. Ouch. Saving 20%, you're there in 2 years. Now we're talking. Saving 30%, about 1 year. That's hustle. In the next chapter, we'll dive even deeper into how your saving rate, and by extension, your spending rate, is the ultimate key to unlocking level 7 financial freedom. We'll explore the famous 4% rule and empower you to decide exactly how much you should be saving. To give you a sneak peek, if Frank, saving 10%, wants to hit level 7, it'll take him about 43 years. Stephanie, saving 20%, gets there in just over 30 years, nearly 13 years faster. Imagine what you could do with an extra 13 years of financial freedom. Your takeaways. 1. The more you save, the less you spend. Simple, powerful, and totally in your control. 2. Spend less, and you'll hit your financial goals faster, thanks to the slingshot effect. Every dollar not spent is a dollar that works twice as hard for you. 3. Your saving rate, and by extension, your spending rate, is the ultimate accelerator on your path to financial freedom. Chapter 11, Your Financial Freedom Formula, the 4% Rule Unpacked. The code is more what you'd call guidelines than actual rules. Welcome aboard the Black Pearl Future Financially Free Individual, Captain Barbassa, reimagined for your money journey. This is it, the chapter where everything clicks. We've talked about the magic of your money multiplier and supercharging your savings. Now, let's connect those dots to unlock level 7 financial freedom and show you exactly how much you need to save and how fast you can get there. Think of level 7 as your ultimate financial launch pad. It's when your freedom fund holds 25 times your annual expenses. Sounds like a lot, right? Don't sweat it. We're about to demystify it and give you the roadmap. To pinpoint your launch date, we need just 3 key pieces of intel. 1, your saving rate. How much of your gross income are you funneling into your future? 2, your investment returns. How hard is your money working for you? 3, your withdrawal rate. How much will you plan to take out once you're financially free? You're already a pro at understanding your saving rate, that awesome percentage of your paycheck you're socking away. And we've assumed a 9.3% nominal return on your investments. Pretty sweet, right? But here's where we get real. The real deal, accounting for inflation. The cost of living doesn't stay still. Inflation, that sneaky wealth eater, averages around 3% annually. So to get a true picture of your money's power over time, we adjust our 9.3% nominal return by subtracting that 3% inflation. That leaves us with a 6.3% real rate of return, the actual growth after accounting for rising prices. This 6.3% is crucial for accurately projecting your path to level 7. A quick note, these numbers are based on historical market trends. The future is unwritten, but these are solid guidelines for planning. Hash the 4% guideline, your freedom fund spending blueprint. Now, let's talk about your withdrawal rate. How much you can confidently pull from your freedom fund each year without worrying about running dry. This brings us to the famous 4% rule, or as we like to call it, the 4% guideline. Here's the gist. In your first year of financial freedom, you aim to spend 4% of your total invested nest egg. In subsequent years, you adjust that amount for inflation. This isn't a rigid law, but a time-tested strategy supported by research, like the Trinity study, that significantly increases your odds of your money lasting as long as you do. But wait, you might ask, if my investments earn 9.3% nominal, why only spend 4%? Excellent question. 3 big reasons. 1, inflation defense. The difference between your earnings and withdrawals helps your portfolio grow to keep pace with rising costs. 2, market swings. The stock market isn't a straight line up. Some years are booms, others are busts. This buffer helps your portfolio weather those inevitable downturns. 3, portfolio protection. As you near and enter retirement, you might shift to a slightly more conservative investment mix, e.g. 60-40 stocks to bonds. This typically means a lower expected return, so a conservative withdrawal rate is smart. Calculating your freedom fund target. Ready for the magic number? Here's how to figure out how much you need in your freedom fund to hit level 7. Annual expenses / 4% equals your freedom fund target. Or, even simpler, annual expenses x 25 equals your freedom fund target. Let's look at some real numbers. If you need to spend $40,000 a year, $40,000 x 25 equals $1,000. If you need to spend $60,000 a year, $60,000 by 25 equals $1,500. If you need to spend $80,000 a year, 80,000 by 25 equals $2,000. See how clear that becomes? This is your concrete target, the power of your withdrawal rate. While 4% is a fantastic guideline for most, understanding how your withdrawal rate impacts your target is crucial. A lower withdrawal rate means you need a larger nest egg to generate the same income, but it also provides a stronger safety net. A higher withdrawal rate means you need less saved, but your money might not last as long. For example, if you need $60,000 a year, at a 3% withdrawal rate, $60,000 press 0.03 equals, at a 4% withdrawal rate, $60,000 0.04, $1,500. At a 5% withdrawal rate, $60,000 or 0.05 equals $1,200. For most young professionals and creatives aiming for an earlier financial full freedom, sticking with the 4% guideline is a solid, safe bet. If you plan to retire extremely early, like in your 30s, and never work again, considering 3% or 3.5% might give you even greater peace of mind over a longer retirement. Your path to freedom, putting it all together. Let's apply this to a hypothetical. Annual income, $75,000, saving rate 20%, $15,000 saved per year, spending rate $60,000 spent per year. Based on a $60,000 annual spend, this individual needs a $1,500,000 freedom fund, $60,000 by 25. Now it's your turn. Take a moment to calculate your personal freedom fund target. 1. Estimate your current annual expenses. Don't forget to include taxes. 2. Multiply that number by 25. That's your level 7 financial freedom goal. Write it down. Make it real. How long until liftoff? Once you know your freedom fund goal, we can estimate your journey's length. Your time to level 7 financial freedom is a powerful function of your saving rate. The higher, the faster. Your real rate of return. Aim for that solid 6.3% or higher. Your starting savings. Every dollar you've already saved gives you a head start. Here's an incredible truth. Your income level is irrelevant to the time it takes to reach level 7. If two people save 15% of their income and get the same returns, they'll hit level 7 in the same amount of time, whether one makes $50,000 or $500,000. Why? Because the person making more also spends more, meaning they need a much larger freedom fund. The slingshot effect in action. Remember the slingshot effect? It's on full display here. When you increase your saving rate, it's a double win. 1. Faster growth. You're pouring more money into your investments. 2. Lower target. Because you're spending less, the total amount you need for level 7 decreases. Every single percentage point in your saving rate or investment return makes a difference. Seriously, a 1% difference in your real rate of return can shave years off your journey. Your personal saving sweet spot. So how much should you be saving? Now you have the tools to answer that for yourself. Work backward from your desired timeline. Want to be free in 20 years? At a 6.3% real return, you'll need to hit a minimum 35% saving rate. That's a challenge, yes, but think about it. Financial freedom by 45? That's serious motivation. If you're still looking for a general target, my unwavering advice is aim for at least 20%. This is a powerful starting point that puts you on a solid trajectory. In the next section, we'll dive into actionable strategies to make that 20% or more a reality. The 4% guideline isn't just a number, it's your personalized blueprint for freedom. Go calculate your number. Your journey starts now. 3 key concepts to carry with you. 1, the 4% rule, guideline. This is your compass for estimating how much you need in your freedom fund to achieve level 7 financial freedom. It's roughly 25 times your annual expenses. 2, your freedom equation. To estimate your time to level 7, you need just 3 inputs: your saving rate, your inflation-adjusted real investment return, and your withdrawal rate. 3, sensitivity is king. Small changes in your saving rate, investment returns, or withdrawal rate assumptions have a massive impact on how quickly you reach your financial freedom goal. Every percent counts. Chapter 12, Supercharge Your Freedom Fund. The power of your saving rate. Money often costs too much. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Ready to hit level 7 financial freedom faster than you ever imagined? Your saving rate is the secret weapon. It's wild how even small tweaks can create massive ripples on your journey to financial independence. And big changes? They're like launching a rocket. Let's break down how your saving rate can revolutionize your timeline. Big wins, hacking your saving rate for early freedom. We've talked about the money multiplier, that sweet spot where your money works hard for you. So far, we've used a baseline example. Annual income, $75,000. Saving rate, 20%. That's $15,000 saved per year. Spending rate, 80%, meaning $60,000 spent per year. With these numbers and a 6.3% inflation-adjusted investment return, we estimated about 31 years to reach level 7. Remember, whether you earn $50,000 or $150,000, if your saving rate stays at 20%, your time to level 7 remains consistent. It's all about that percentage. But what if you decide to dial down your saving rate? Let's say you drop to just 10%. Annual income, $75,000. Saving rate, $7,500 saved annually. Spending rate, 90%, $67,500 spent annually. Now, your annual spending is higher, which means your level 7 freedom fund goal also skyrockets. Instead of needing $1.5 million, you'll need around $1.69 million, 67,500 by 25. You're saving less but need more money to retire. This is the slingshot effect in reverse, and it adds nearly 11 years to your journey, pushing you to 43 years instead of 31. It's a game changer. Now let's flip the script. What happens if you pump up your saving rate? Let's shoot for 30%. Annual income, $75,000. Saving rate, 30%. $22,500 saved annually. Spending rate, 70%. $52,500 spent annually. Because you're spending less, your Freedom Fund goal shrinks to about $1.32 million. $52,500 buys 25. And just like that, with a 6.3% real return, your time to level 7 plummets from 31 years to a mere 25 years. That's 6 years shaved off just by bumping up your savings by 10 percentage points. Check out this powerful breakdown of how different saving rates impact your timeline, assuming a 6.3% after inflation investment return and starting with zero savings. 5% saving rate, 55 years to level 7, 10% saving rate, 43 years to level 7, 15% saving rate, 36 years to level 7, 20% saving rate, 32 years to level 7, 25% saving rate, 28 years to level 7, saving rate, 25 years to level 7, 20% saving rate, 22 years to level 7, 20% 19 years to level 7, saving rate is 7.5, then saving rate, level 17 years to level saving rate, 15 years to level 7. The exact numbers aren't what matters most here. What does matter is realizing the incredible power you have. You're not just saving money, you're buying back your time. You're making an informed choice about your future, taking control and designing the life you want. Small habits, massive impact, the latte factor and beyond. Think you need a huge income or a massive windfall to make a difference? Think again. Small, consistent changes can create a tidal wave of wealth. This is where the famous latte factor comes in. Popularized by David Bach, the concept is simple. Instead of spending a small amount daily on something like a $5 latte, invest that money. Why? Because these seemingly insignificant amounts, compounded over time, grow into seriously substantial sums. We saw this with the rule of 857. Many of us think we need thousands of dollars to invest. What's the point if I only have a few bucks? That's the trap. If you save that $5 daily latte money, you're freeing up about $150 a month. Invest that $150 monthly at a 9.3% nominal return over 45 years, and you'd accumulate a mind-blowing $1,231,783.24. Yes, you read that right. Over $1 million from skipping a daily $5 latte. The incredible and slightly inconvenient truth here: we have no excuses. Barring truly extreme and temporary circumstances like sudden unemployment or overwhelming student debt, you have the power to save and invest for your future. So how does this latte factor translate to your level 7 journey? Let's revisit our $75,000 annual income example, where a 20% saving rate got us to level 7 in about 31 years. Now, let's add that extra $150 a month from our latte savings. Original monthly savings, $1,250, $15,000 annually. New monthly savings, $1,250 plus $1,400, $16,800 annually. This bumps your saving rate from 20% to 4%. And here's the magic of the slingshot effect. By increasing your saving rate, you simultaneously decrease your spending rate from 80 to 77.6%. New numbers. Annual income, $75,000, saving rate, 22.4%, $16,800 saved annually. Spending rate, 77.6%, $58,200 spent annually. What does this mean for your level 7 goal? Your target freedom fund drops from $1.5 million to $1,450,000, $58,200 by 25. You've increased your annual savings by $1,800 and reduced your goal by $45,000. That's the slingshot in full effect. The result, this one small change shaves over 2 years off your journey, bringing you to level 7 in about 29 years instead of 31. 2 extra years of freedom, all from a $5 daily habit. Freedom first, lattes second. Now I know what you might be thinking. Life's short. Why sacrifice my daily latte for 30 years? What if I don't even make it? And you're right, life is short. I'm not here to tell you to give up your lattes, Netflix, or vacations entirely. What I am here to tell you is that the absolute best thing money can buy is financial freedom. Every dollar that comes your way, use a portion of it to buy that freedom. Then, with what's left over, enjoy your lattes, your streaming, and your adventures to your heart's content. It's about balance and it's about priorities. Think of it as freedom first, lattes second. And remember, the latte is just an example. This concept applies to any recurring small expense. We'll dive deeper into how to automate this with my one and done system for saving money later. But what if I make $300,000 a year, you ask? A $5 latte won't move the needle for me. That's a great problem to have. If you're earning $300,000, you're likely already in a strong position to save much more than 20%. While an extra $150 a month might only nudge your 20% saving rate to 20.6%, the principle still holds. You have the capacity to find larger lattes, perhaps a slightly less expensive car or a more modest housing payment. Going from a 20% to a 23% saving rate on a $20,000 monthly income means increasing savings from $5,000 to $5,700. That might require more than skipping coffee, but it's entirely achievable given your income. Regardless of your income level, consistently saving even small amounts, like that $150 a month, still builds over $1.2 million over 45 years. That's life-changing money for anyone. So start brainstorming today. What small, regular expenses can you redirect into your freedom fund? You'll be amazed at the ripple effect these micro changes can create. We'll explore more practical ways to do this in the next section of the book. Key takeaways for your freedom journey. Your saving rate is your accelerator. The percentage of your income you save directly dictates how quickly you achieve level 7 financial freedom. Increase it and you'll get there faster. The slingshot effect is real. Every dollar you save does double duty. It boosts your savings and shrinks the total amount you need for your freedom fund. It's a win-win. Small changes create big results. Don't underestimate the power of consistent, seemingly minor adjustments to your spending habits. They compound into massive wealth over time, shaving years off your journey to financial independence. The true cost of happiness. If more of us valued food and cheer and song above hoarded gold, it would be a merrier world. J.R.R. Tolkien. What truly makes you happy? It sounds simple, right? But honestly, it's one of life's trickiest questions. Many of us chase happiness without ever defining what it really means to us. Before you read another word, take a moment. Grab a pen and paper or open a note on your phone. List the top 10 things in your life that bring you the most joy. We'll revisit this soon. Now think about income. You might have heard studies suggest a happiness income of $60,000 to $75,000. While interesting, these studies often miss the mark. They ask, how much money do you need to make to be happy? But the real power move is to ask, how much do you need to spend to be happy? Go back to your list of 10 happy makers. How many of them actually cost money? How many are completely free? Now here's the kicker. How do those items align with how you currently spend your money? And just as importantly, your time. Let me tell you about Don and Wendy. They were college acquaintances, then went their separate ways after graduation. Both landed sweet gigs. Don at a big computer hardware company, Wendy at a smaller software firm. They each scored a $10,000 signing bonus and a $75,000 salary, plus great benefits and no student debt. Talk about a fresh start. But this is where their stories diverge. The ride immediately put his signing bonus down on a brand new BMW 5 Series. He felt he'd earned it after 4 years of grinding in college. A $500 monthly payment? No sweat, he thought. His salary could handle it. The dealership even assured him. Don felt great, cruising in his new ride. He was happy. Wendy had a different plan. She took that $10,000 bonus and invested every penny into a low-cost index mutual fund. It felt empowering to know her hard work was already building a foundation for her future. She was proud of this smart move. As for a car, she kept driving her reliable old college beater. Wendy was also happy. The apartment a sweet apartment about 20 miles from work. Moving closer was an option, but for the same price, he could get a much nicer place further out. Plus, the commute in his new Beamer wouldn't be bad, right? Rent was $1,500 a month, a splurge. But again, he was confident his salary and future raises would cover it. Don was really happy with his choices. Wendy chose an apartment close enough to walk to work. She shared a 3-bedroom with 2 roommates, and her rent share was $700. While a bit more than she initially wanted, she saved a ton on car insurance, gas, and repairs. She figured she wouldn't need a new car for ages and completely dodged the headache of a long commute. Wendy was also really happy with her choices. The nest egg. Don thought about his company's 401k but decided against it. With the car and rent payments, there wasn't much left. Besides, he was only 22. Plenty of time to save later, he reasoned, maybe after his car loan was paid off. He was still happy. Wendy didn't hesitate. She immediately set up monthly contributions to her 401k, maxing out the employer match. Her company matched dollar for dollar up to 6% of her salary. She was still happy. Fast forward 20 years. Let's jump ahead 2 decades. Imagine Wendy consistently saving 30% of her income, including that employer match. Don, on the other hand, keeps spending, accumulating more and more debt. What do their financial lives look like? Don is unfortunately a common story. No savings, mountains of debt. He lives a nice lifestyle, but he's like a hamster on a wheel, constantly running just to keep up. His future is dictated by the bills he has to pay. Wendy's story is dramatically different. By consistently saving 30% of her $75,000 salary and assuming a conservative 9.3% nominal return with no pay raises or increased savings, she's accumulated over $1.3 million. It's not about admiring the number itself. It's about what that number represents. When Wendy is in complete control of her future. Don's future is a reaction to his past financial decisions. Could Don turn it around? Absolutely, but he's facing a much steeper climb. Wendy, however, has options. She can keep working at her software company, completely worry-free, or she could start her own business, switch jobs, or take a sabbatical. Her money works for her. Don and Wendy are fictional, but their choices are real. The question for you is simple. Do you want to live like Don, or do you want to live like Wendy? This book will show you exactly how to build a life like Wendy's. The ultimate choice, however, is always yours. Chapter 14, Freedom First, Lattes Second. Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving, Warren Buffett. Look, we all know those financial wizards who were seemingly born with a superpower, saving money. They're the ones who practically high-five themselves for finding a penny. If that's you, amazing. You're already ahead of the game. But for most of us, especially young professionals and creatives juggling ambition with everyday life, saving isn't always so intuitive. We get it. Life happens, and willpower can feel like a fickle friend. Relying solely on it to build your financial future is like relying on a diet of sheer determination to shed those last 10 pounds. It might work for a bit, but eventually, the ice cream and fries call your name, and you're back where you started, or worse. This yo-yo effect isn't just for diets. It's a real thing with debt too. You get motivated, pay down some bills, feel great, and then suddenly, unexpected expenses or a treat yourself moment sends you spiraling back into the red. It's a frustrating cycle, but here's the good news. You can break it. How? By setting up your finances so you don't have to rely on willpower. Think of it like this. Instead of trying to resist the junk food in your pantry, you simply don't buy it in the first place. You create a system, an environment where saving is the default, not an uphill battle. Here's your simple 3-step blueprint to make saving automatic and finally build that retire before mom and dad fund. R1. Save first, spend second. Forget everything you've ever heard about budgeting where you list out all your expenses and then see what's left to save. That's backward. The winning mindset, the game changer, is save first, spend second. Before a single dollar hits your spending column, decide how much you're going to save. This isn't just a trick. It's a declaration of financial independence. It tells your brain, my freedom fund is the priority. Lattes, or whatever your vice is, comes second. Once that money is set aside, the rest of your income is yours to spend, guilt-free. It's liberating. Still not convinced? Look at the science. When companies started automatically enrolling employees into 401k plans, participation and contribution rates soared. Why? Because the money was gone before employees even saw it. Out of sight, out of mind. Your emotions never even get a chance to jump in and tempt you. This leads us directly to step 2. 2. Automate your savings. This is where the magic happens. Once you've decided on your saving rate, how much you'll save from each paycheck, make it automatic. For your 401k or employer-sponsored plan, if your company offers it, sign up for direct deductions. This is the ultimate out-of-sight, out-of-mind strategy. The money goes directly from your pay into your retirement account before it ever touches your bank account. You literally never see it, so you can't spend it. For other savings and investments, set up automatic transfers. Many employers allow you to split your direct deposit into multiple accounts. Send a portion directly to a savings account and another to an investment account. If not, set up recurring transfers from your checking account to your savings and investment accounts through your bank. Do it the day you get paid. 3. Separate your freedom fund. Now for the ultimate willpower bypass. Make your savings a little harder to access. Set up a high-yield savings account at a different online bank than your primary checking account. Why? Higher interest rates. Online banks typically offer better returns on your savings. Friction. It adds a slight barrier to impulsive spending. You can't just walk in and pull cash out, and initiating an online transfer takes a few days. This mental speed bump is often enough to make you think twice before dipping into your freedom fund. Do the same for investments. Open an investment account, e.g. with a platform like Vanguard or Fidelity, and set up automatic transfers directly from your paycheck or checking account. Think of it as putting a lock on your financial future. You're creating an environment where healthy financial habits are the easiest, most natural path. We know you've got questions. How much should you save? Where exactly do you invest? We'll dive deep into those in the next section. But for now, ingrain these core principles into your financial DNA. 3 key takeaways. Save first, then spend what's left. Make saving your absolute priority. Automate your savings, don't rely on willpower. Build systems that work for you, not against you. Separate your freedom fund from your primary checking account to create beneficial friction. Chapter 15, Your Money Makeover, the audit that pays you back. You have a choice. You can throw in the towel, or you can use it to wipe the sweat off your face. Let's be real. Saving money often feels like sacrificing everything fun. Cutting back on lattes, skipping that new gadget, or opting for a staycation instead of a Bali adventure can feel like a punch to the gut. But what if saving money didn't mean sacrificing your lifestyle? What if it meant unlocking more freedom, more fun, and an earlier escape from the daily grind? That's where the Money Makeover audit comes in. Forget endless budgeting and constant deprivation. We're talking about one-and-done power moves that boost your bank account without cramping your style. Think of it as hitting the easy button for your finances. The power of one done wins. Imagine saving money effortlessly, month after month, just by making a single smart decision. That's the magic of one-and-done savings. Instead of constantly battling the urge to splurge, you make a strategic move once, and the savings keep rolling in. Take car insurance, for example. You need it, right? But if you could get the exact same coverage for less with a quick comparison shop, wouldn't you do it? That's a one-and-done win. A few minutes of effort, and boom, ongoing savings that add up. Even a modest $5 a week saved can transform into over $4,200 in 10 years, thanks to the power of compounding, using our rule of 857, which we'll dive into later. This concept, painless of one-time actions for ongoing financial gains, is the core of your Money Makeover audit. Ready to see where your money really goes and how to redirect it to your future self? Let's do this. Your 3-step Money Makeover audit. This isn't about judgment. It's about empowerment. This audit will reveal hidden opportunities to supercharge your savings and accelerate your journey to financial freedom. Step 1, map your money flow, every single penny. This is where you become the detective of your own finances. Grab your bank statements and credit card bills from the last few months. Your mission, List every single recurring monthly expense and its amount. Why? Because so much of our money slips away on autopilot. Subscriptions, utilities, loan payments, they often disappear from our accounts without a second thought. It's time to shine a spotlight on them. Common monthly bills to list and hunt down any hidden ones. Housing, rent or mortgage. Debt, credit card payments, car loans, student loans, personal loans. Utilities, electricity, gas, water, trash, internet, home phone, cell phone. Subscriptions, Netflix, Spotify, Hulu, gym memberships, software, online courses. Seriously, everything. Insurance, car, health, life, renters, homeowners. Pro tip for precision: if an expense varies, like utilities, guesstimate an average. For loans, jot down the minimum payment and the interest rate. Don't skip anything. Even small forgotten expenses can be major opportunities. Nash, Step 2. Ask the power questions. Challenge every expense. With your complete list in hand, it's time for some deep self-reflection. For each item, ask yourself these 3 critical questions. Question 1, do I really need or want this? This is the gut check moment. Be brutally honest. We often cling to things out of habit or perceived necessity. Challenge those assumptions. Do I need 500 cable channels, or am I just watching 5? Do I need this specific streaming service, or am I just paying for a few shows I rarely watch? Do I need to commute this way, or are there alternatives that save money and perhaps even time? It's okay if the answer is yes, but forcing yourself to truly consider, what if I didn't have this, opens your mind to new possibilities. This isn't about deprivation, it's about conscious choice. Question 2. Do I need exactly what I have? For the expenses you've decided to keep, can you optimize them? Often you can get the same or better value for less. Can you increase your deductibles if you have an emergency fund to cover it for lower premiums? Are you overinsured on life insurance? Cell phone, internet. Are you on the best plan for your actual usage? Could you switch to a lower cost provider? Think Mint Mobile, Visible, or your current provider's secret cheaper plans. Can you dial back your internet speed if you're overpaying for more than you need? Subscriptions. Are you on the highest tier when a lower one would suffice? Debt. Can you refinance high interest debt to a lower rate, dramatically cutting your monthly payments and overall interest paid? Living situation. Could a roommate significantly reduce your housing costs? These small adjustments can lead to huge savings over time. Question 3. Can I get what I need for less? This is the ultimate comparison shopping question. Most services have competitors vying for your business. Use that to your advantage. Shop around annually for car insurance, home insurance, and even internet and cable providers. A few phone calls or online quotes can save you hundreds. Call your current providers. Don't be afraid to negotiate. Tell them you're considering switching and see if they'll offer you a better deal to keep you. You'd be surprised how often this works. Debt is a beast. Beyond refinancing, consider the nuclear option if you're truly drowning. Selling the item that caused the debt, like a car you can't afford. We'll dive deeper into debt strategies later, but for now, know that aggressive action here pays off massively. Step 3. Execute your saving strategy. You've done the detective work and the critical thinking. Now it's time to act. This might involve making phone calls, updating online accounts, or even selling something. Don't procrastinate. Every day you delay is a day you're missing out on compounding those savings. The payoff, your Freedom Fund Accelerator. The impact of this audit is huge. Every dollar you cut from your recurring expenses is a dollar you can invest in your future. Every $100 you save and invest each month can grow to over $2,400 in 10 years and a staggering $900 in 45 years. These numbers are based on the rule of 857 and 36,036, assuming a 9.3% return. Even better, for every $100 you reduce your monthly expenses, you reduce your Level 7 Freedom Fund goal by $30,000. Because $100 per month is $1,200 per year, and Level 7 Freedom means having 25 years of expenses saved. $1,200 by 25 equals $30,000. Think about that. A few one-and-done changes that don't cramp your style can literally shave years off your journey to financial independence. My own one-and-done win. Confession time. We were paying $100 a month for a bloated cable package. We rarely watched half the channels. We switched to YouTube TV for $35 a month, keeping our internet and phone. We get all the channels we want, a built-in DVR, and the flexibility to watch on any device. Monthly savings, $65. That small $65 a month invested at a 9.3% return transforms into 10 years, 12,794s, 20 years, 45,104, 30 years, 126,702, all from one simple change that actually improved our viewing experience. That's the power of the Money Makeover audit. Hash the critical last step. Automate your wins. You've saved money. Amazing. But don't let those savings evaporate into random spending. This is crucial. Immediately take the money you've freed up and increase your automated savings contributions. If you just saved $150 a month by optimizing your cable, car insurance, and cell phone, then go into your banking app or investment platform and increase your automated monthly transfer to your savings investment accounts by $150. This ensures every dollar you save is immediately put to work, buying you more financial freedom. Fail to do this, and that money will just disappear, leaving you wondering where it went. Automate it, and you know exactly where it's going, straight to your future self. Beyond saving, one and done ways to make more money. The one and done system isn't just for cutting expenses, it's also about effortlessly boosting your income. Imagine earning hundreds more each year without taking on another job or side hustle. Cashback credit cards, your mini money-making machine. Let's address the elephant in the room, credit cards. Used irresponsibly, they're financial quicksand. But for those who are disciplined, pay their balance in full every month and avoid interest, cashback cards are a secret weapon for your freedom fund. They won't make you rich overnight, but they are free money that adds up. My wife and I use a 2% cashback card for nearly everything. If you spend $5,000 a month and put just half of that on a 2% card, that's $50 a month in pure cashback. Invested, that $50 a month translates to over $10,700 in 10 years, a stunning $450,450 in 45 years. That's a free $500,000 boost to your retirement just for using a card responsibly. The 401k match. Free money. No kidding. If your employer offers a 401k or 403b, etc. match, this is your number one no-brainer, absolutely essential, one and done money-making move. This is literally free money your employer is giving you. Don't leave it on the table. Companies often match a percentage of your contributions, e.g., 50 cents on the dollar or dollar for dollar up to a certain percentage of your salary. Imagine you earn $75,000 a year and contribute at least 6%, $4,500. If your employer matches 50 cents on the dollar, that's an extra $250 per year handed to you. A dollar for dollar match, that's another $4,500 per year. These matching contributions invested over for a 45-year career explode into 250th year match, over 1.5 million, 4,500 a year match, over $3 million. And that's just the match, not including your own contributions. Remember how we said a 20% saving rate could get you to level 7 financial freedom in about 31 years? An employer match slashes that timeline. A $2,250 annual match could shave off a year, getting you free in under 30 years. A $4,500 annual match could get you there in around 28 years. If your employer offers a match, take it, all of it. It's the ultimate one-and-done power move for your financial future. Your 3 key takeaways. 1. Smart savings are painless and permanent. Focus on one-and-done actions that create ongoing savings without constant effort or lifestyle sacrifice. 2. The Money Makeover audit is your secret weapon. This systematic review of your expenses will uncover hidden cash flow. 3. Audit annually, automate always. Make the Money Makeover audit a yearly ritual and immediately automate any savings you discover directly into your investment accounts. Chapter 16. Unlock your financial power, the habit advantage. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Will Durant. Ever wonder if it's the daily latte or the big vacation that's really holding back your financial progress? The truth is, it's both, and neither. What truly matters isn't deprivation, but understanding the invisible forces shaping your money habits. In the last chapter, we tackled recurring monthly bills. Now, let's dive into what I call lifestyle expenses, everything from your morning coffee to that epic annual getaway. This is where we'll take a fresh, empowering approach. Here's what I'm not going to do. Demand you ditch your favorite morning brew. I'm enjoying one right now. Insist you cancel your dream trip to that exotic destination. Try to convince you to purge all your streaming services. Instead, we're going to revolutionize your thinking with two powerful concepts: the myth of sacrifice and the power of habit. The myth of sacrifice, beyond the latte factor. You've probably heard of the latte factor, the idea that cutting small daily expenses can add up to serious wealth. While the math behind it can be debated, and hey, we know a 10% return isn't a guarantee, the core lesson is golden. Small amounts, consistently saved, become big wealth. But here's the more interesting part: the emotional toll. Does giving up something you enjoy today really make sense for a payoff decades from now? I used to grab a fancy mocha almost every day. Loved the taste, loved the vibe. Then one day, I just stopped. Not for financial reasons, but for health. And let me tell you, it felt like a huge sacrifice at first. I craved it. It hurt. But then a funny thing happened. After a couple of weeks, the craving disappeared. I didn't miss it. In fact, I felt better without it. What once felt like a sacrifice became a non-issue, and my life was just as enjoyable, if not more so. This isn't just about coffee. Think about that old TV from my childhood. When it broke, it felt like the end of the world. No money for a new one. But eventually, we adapted. We found other ways to fill our time, and the sacrifice evaporated. The real takeaway from the latte factor isn't about denying yourself pleasure. It's about ensuring your spending truly aligns with your joy and priorities. Too often, we spend out of habit, and the happiness it brings is fleeting. The power of habit, your invisible financial guide. So much of our lives and our financial decisions are driven by habit. Your morning routine, your commute, your daily lunch run, that weekend shopping spree, these are all ingrained patterns. Not all habits are bad, of course. Habits streamline our lives, but they can also be destructive, or at least suboptimal, especially for your wallet. We often believe we need certain things to be happy, locking us into routines that are tough to break. The good news? Once you intentionally break just one routine and realize it didn't bring you the happiness you thought it would, it's incredibly empowering. This small win can trigger a ripple effect, giving you back control in other areas of your life. Think about keystone habits. These are habits that, once developed, create a domino effect of positive changes. Regular exercise, for example, often leads to better eating, increased productivity, less stress, and even, get this, less credit card use. Small wins, just like the money multiplier, can produce massive results. They build momentum, convincing you that bigger achievements are absolutely within reach. Action plan. Master your money habits. Ready to harness the power of habit for your financial freedom? Let's do this. Step 1. Identify your financial habits. For 2 weeks, track every dollar you spend. Use your bank statements, credit card bills, or a simple app. Look for patterns. Do you always grab takeout for lunch? Are you subscribed to services you barely use? Do you impulse buy stuff when you're bored or stressed? Take 30 minutes to truly examine your spending and pinpoint your routines. Step 2. Pick one spending habit to change. Resist the urge to overhaul everything at once. Focus on one habit. Trying to tackle too much often leads to burnout. Choose one habit that, if changed, would make a noticeable difference and feel achievable. Step 3. Replace the habit with a better one. This is key. Don't just stop a habit. Replace it. If you cut out your weekly night out, replace it with a fun, low-cost activity. Instead of daily restaurant lunches, pack an extra special meal from home and still enjoy a break outside. This is the golden rule of habit change. Understand the cue, what triggers the habit, the routine, the habit itself, and the reward, what you're truly getting from it. If your lunch routine's real reward is getting out of the office, bring your lunch but still take that break. Next, step 4, automate your savings. This step is non-negotiable. Immediately redirect the money you save from changing your habit into your automated savings. Increase your 401k contribution. Boost your automatic transfers to your savings or investment account. Accelerate your debt payments. If you don't automate it, that money will vanish and you won't even remember where it went. The latte factor, reimagined. So, is it about never drinking a latte again? Absolutely not. The latte factor teaches us three crucial lessons for your journey to retire before mom and dad. One, small amounts consistently invested build massive wealth. Every dollar saved counts. Two, what feels like a sacrifice at first often isn't one in the long run. Give new habits 21 days to take hold. You might surprise yourself. Three, we spend out of habit. Regularly audit your routines to ensure they align with your priorities and what genuinely brings you happiness. 3 key concepts to retire before mom and dad. Habits are powerful. Much of our financial life is on autopilot. Change can be uncomfortable initially. Breaking old habits takes effort. True freedom emerges from intentional choices. Changes that feel like sacrifices often lead to greater joy and financial success. Chapter 17, The What If Game, Unlocking Your Financial Superpowers. All life is an experiment. The more experiments you make, the better. Ralph Waldo Emerson. We all want to achieve financial freedom, but sometimes the path seems hazy. We're often stuck in our routines, making the same money choices day in and day out without truly questioning them. It's like a chess game where you see one immediate threat and miss the winning move just beyond it. Imagine you're playing chess and you're about to make a move. Suddenly you realize your opponent could snag your most powerful piece, your queen. Instinctively, you ditch your original plan and scramble to protect her. After the game, you feed the moves into a chess program, and bam! You discover that seemingly disastrous queen-losing move would have actually led to a brilliant checkmate. You stopped short, focused on the immediate perceived loss, and missed the ultimate victory. This happens all the time with our money. We see an obstacle and immediately shut down, missing out on incredible opportunities. But what if we pushed past that initial no way? Hashnar, play the what if game. Let's try a powerful thought experiment I call the what if game. It's about asking deeper questions and exploring possibilities you might have previously dismissed. Here's how it works. 1. Start small, dream big. Begin with the everyday stuff. What if I skipped my daily latte? What if I brought my lunch to work instead of buying it? What if I ate out less often? Level up your questions. Once you're comfortable, push yourself to think bigger. What if I trimmed down my vacation spending? What if I cut the cord on cable TV? What if I bike to work a few times a week? 3. Go for the big wins. Now, let's get serious. These questions might feel impossible at first, but that's the point. What if I got rid of one of my cars, or even all of them? What if I downsized my home? What if I moved closer to work so I could walk or bike? If walking isn't an option, what if I found a new job with a shorter commute or one that's remote? What if I moved to a more affordable area of the country? Don't dismiss these questions just yet. Your immediate reaction might be, no way, I need my car. But what if you didn't? How would you adapt? The goal isn't necessarily to sell your car today. It's about sparking your imagination and seeing beyond your current reality. It's about realizing that what seems impossible might just be a hidden pathway to financial freedom. What if applied? The car example. Let's break down the car example using the what if strategy. Most people immediately shut down the idea of selling their car. I need it for work, for groceries, for errands. And that's where the thinking stops. But this is precisely where you need to push forward. What if I sell my car and have to figure out a different way to get to work? This is where the magic happens. Like a chess grandmaster analyzing multiple moves, you start exploring various solutions. What if I took public transportation? What if I walked or biked to work? What if I carpooled with a coworker? What if I changed jobs to be closer to home? What if I moved closer to my workplace? What if I found a job I could do from home? These questions can snowball into even more possibilities. What if I asked my boss about working from home a few days a week? What if I could work 4 10-hour shifts to reduce commute days? What if I combined options like biking, carpooling, and using ride shares when needed? After this deeper analysis, you might still decide to keep your car, and that's totally fine. The point is, By asking, what if, and pushing past immediate objections, you uncover options you never knew existed. You discover your own resourcefulness. The 21-day experiment. Test drive your new habits. In life, unlike a strict chess tournament, we don't have to commit to every move. We can touch a piece, see how it feels, and put it back if it's not the right fit. This is where experimentation comes in. Take your what-if questions and write down the changes you'd like to make, even if they seem crazy. Then pick just one and try it for 21 days. This simple experiment can be a game changer. Go without cable TV for 3 weeks. Commit to eating out significantly less. Park one of your cars and rely on alternatives. Skip that daily coffee shop run. Focus on one change at a time. Trying to overhaul everything at once is a recipe for burnout. Remember to replace old habits with new, positive ones. If you're ditching cable, don't just stare at a blank screen. Read a book, pursue a hobby, exercise, or connect with friends. Fill that void with something that truly enriches your life. You might be surprised. Many changes that seem like sacrifices at first can actually lead to greater happiness and contentment. For example, skipping my daily mocha latte wasn't just about saving money, though it did. It was about avoiding empty calories. What started as a sacrifice became a healthier, happier habit. The feeling of deprivation often fades, replaced by a sense of control and well-being. These 21-day experiments are powerful tools to discover what truly makes you happy and what's worth your hard-earned money. Leveling up. The impact of small shifts. Let's put some numbers behind this. Imagine you're earning $5,000 a month with a 10% saving rate. Even small changes can dramatically accelerate your journey to level 7 financial freedom. That's when your passive income covers all your expenses, meaning you're truly free. Here's how much faster you could reach level 7 by making just a few changes with estimated monthly savings in parentheses. Cut cable TV $100 a month. Reach level 7 3 years faster. Eat out less $200 a month. Achieve level 7 6 years faster. Go car free $300 a month. Get to level 7 8 years faster. And here's the kicker. If you made all 3 of these changes, saving an extra $600 a month, you'd reach level 7 financial freedom over a decade sooner. Instead of nearly 43 years, you could be financially free in about 30 years, assuming a 6.3% real return. These examples aren't about telling you what to do. They're about showing you 2 critical lessons. 1, your choices are powerful. Every day you're making decisions about your spending, often out of habit. But you have the power to change those habits and make conscious choices that serve your financial goals. 2, small shifts, huge impact. Seemingly minor adjustments to your daily life can have a massive accelerating effect on your financial freedom journey. 3, key concepts to remember. Habits are your financial drivers. A huge chunk of your spending is driven by unconscious habits. Become aware of them. Happiness isn't always bought. We often assume certain purchases bring us happiness, but a deeper look might reveal they don't truly fulfill us. Experiment for freedom. Running 21-day experiments is a simple, low-risk way to test new money habits, see how they impact your finances, and discover what truly makes you happy. Chapter 18. The #1 Freedom Fund Killer, your car. Jeff Foxworthy once quipped, "If you own a home with wheels on it and several cars without, you just might be a redneck." While we're not talking about mobile homes, the sentiment about cars hitting your wallet hard is spot on. My good friend, financial Jeff Rose, calls car payments the #1 wealth killer. Let's dive into why your ride might be derailing your financial freedom. Tash, the real cost of owning a car. Ever really thought about what your car costs you beyond the monthly payment? It's way more than gas and insurance. NerdWallet breaks down the average cost of owning a new car. Car payment, $523. Insurance, $98. Gas, $146. Maintenance and repairs. Registration fees and taxes, $12. Total monthly cost, $878. Imagine what you could do with an extra $878 every single month. Let's visualize that impact with a 9.3% annual investment return. 10 years, over $172,000. 20 years, over $609,000. 30 years, over 1.7 million. 40 years, a staggering $4.49 million. Now, before you think I'm telling you to ditch your car forever, let's address the real world stuff. 1, not everyone can or wants to go car free. Totally get it. 2, going car free doesn't mean saving the full $878. You'll still have some transportation costs. 3, not everyone buys new. Used cars can be way cheaper. 4, paying cash avoids interest, but that's still cash you could invest. 5, car payments end. Eventually you own your car outright. All true. But the bigger picture here is opportunity cost. Shash, what if you invested that car money? Let's play out some scenarios. Imagine our freedom fighter at age 25 buys a $20,000 car with cash. 5 years later, she sells it for 50%, $10,000, and buys another $20,000 car. She repeats this until she buys her 10th car at age 70, selling the last one for $10,000 at 75. We're keeping it simple and ignoring inflation, insurance, gas, and repairs. Just focusing on the car purchase cost itself. Total spent on cars, $110,000, $20,000 for the first, then $10,000 for each of the next 9 after trade-ins. But what if, instead of buying those cars, she invested that money with a 9.3% return? Car number 1, $20,000 invested for 50 years, $2,054,537.59. Car number 2, $10,000 invested for 45 years, $646,420. Car number 3, $10,000 invested for 40 years, $406,768. Car number 4, $10,000 invested for 35 years, $255,963. Car number 5, and 10 invested for 30 years, $161,068. Car number 6, $10,000 invested for 25 years, $151,151.7. Car number 7, invested for 20 years, $63,078. Car number 8, $10,000 invested for 15 years, $40,133. Car number 9, $10,000 invested for 10 years, $25,254. Car number 10, $10,000 invested for 5 years, $15,891. Total opportunity cost, over $3.7 million. That's the wealth you could have built, but instead it went to new car purchases every 5 years. Imagine if a couple did this with 2 cars. Driving smarter, not shorter. You're probably thinking, who buys a new car every 5 years? Great point. The longer you keep a car, the more you save. Let's see the difference. 1, driving each car for 10 years. If you drive each car for 10 years and get $5,000 for the trade-in, total opportunity cost, over $3 million. You're still building serious wealth, and that's a $700,000 savings compared to the 5-year trade-in. 2, driving each car for 15 years, or until it dies. If you drive each $20,000 car for 15 years until it has no resale value, total opportunity cost, over $2.7 million. Now you've saved over $1 million compared to the 5-year scenario. My wife and I drove her car for 17 years. It's totally doable. 3, buying a cheaper car and driving it for 15 years. Let's get even savvier. What if you start with a $15,000 car and drive it for 15 years? Total opportunity cost, over $2 million. That's a $1.7 million savings compared to the 5-year $20,000 car cycle. Your car, your choice, your freedom. The message is clear. Cars cost a fortune, and these numbers don't even include insurance, gas, or repairs. Every single dollar you save on car expenses is a dollar you can invest to supercharge your journey to financial freedom. This might mean driving your current car longer, buying a less expensive, reliable used car. Bonus, lower purchase price often means lower insurance costs. Becoming a one-car household if you have 2. Exploring going car-free altogether. However you choose to roll, I hope you now see car ownership through a different lens. The car-free experiment, Ben and April's story. Take Ben and April. In 2016, their car was totaled. They initially planned to replace it, but then a crazy idea sparked. What if they tried going without a car? It felt un-American, but they decided to experiment. And guess what? It was a massive success. They walked, biked, used Uber and Zipcar, and even took the bus. Their shopping habits changed, and they saved a ton of money. As Ben shared, even with the Uber, taxi, and Zipcar bills, we saved money compared to owning a car. No more car insurance bills, parking lot charges, or campus parking fees. They had to learn new habits and services, but the payoff was huge. Their location in a walkable area helped, but their story is a powerful reminder that bold solutions that work for you are out there. 3 key concepts. 1, cars are expensive, like really expensive, especially when you factor in opportunity cost. 2, every dollar saved on car expenses fuels your freedom. Seriously, it's rocket fuel for your investments. 3, prioritize freedom over flashy rides. Your financial future is worth more than a new car scent. Chapter 19, Stop Bonds, your wealth building power duo. Forget the financial jargon. We're cutting through the noise to give you the real talk on investing. This isn't a textbook. It's your playbook for building serious wealth and retiring on your terms, not your parent. You don't need to be a Wall Street whiz to understand this. We're going to break down the core concepts of investing into simple, actionable insights. Think of it as your secret weapon for financial freedom. Ready? Let's dive in. Hash the A-team, stocks and bonds demystified. Imagine you're launching the next big tech startup, not a dry cleaner. You've got an amazing idea, but you need cash to make it happen. You have 2 main routes to raise that money, and these 2 routes are the foundation of all investing. Number 1, stocks, owning a piece of the pie, aka equity. When you buy a stock, you're buying a tiny slice of ownership in a company. Think of it like this. If Google decided to sell off little pieces of itself and you bought one, you'd literally own a microscopic part of Google. The upside. As the company grows and profits, so does the value of your slice. You might even get a share of those profits in the form of dividends, cash payouts to owners. The biggest win, your potential for growth is virtually unlimited. If your company hits it big, so do you. The downside. There are no guarantees. If the company struggles, your stock's value can drop. There's no contractual obligation for them to pay you back or give you dividends. It's a risk, but it's where the big gains often happen. 2, bonds, lending your money for a return, aka debt. When you buy a bond, you're essentially lending money to a company, a city, or even the US government. In return, they promise to pay you back your original loan amount, the principal, by a specific date, maturity, plus regular interest payments along the way. The upside. Bonds are generally more stable and predictable than stocks. You know what you're getting and when. They're often called fixed income because of these regular, reliable payments. The downside. Your growth potential is limited to the agreed upon interest rate. If interest rates rise after you buy your bond, your existing bond with its lower rate becomes less attractive, and its value can temporarily dip if you try to sell it early. This is called interest rate risk. Also, if the company or government you lent to goes belly up, there's a chance you might not get all your money back. Credit risk, but this is less common with stable entities like the US government. The grand showdown, stocks versus bonds. The data don't lie. Now, let's zoom out. What happens when you put these 2 heavyweights against each other over the long haul? Imagine you had $300 back in 1928, a huge sum then. You put $100 into top US stocks, $100 into short-term US government bonds, and $100 into longer-term US government bonds. Fast forward to 2017, a nearly 90-year journey. Short-term bonds, your $100 grew to about $2,100. Longer-term bonds, your 100 grew to about $7,300 in dollars. Stocks, your 100 exploded to nearly $400. Key takeaway number 1, over the long term, stocks are the undisputed champions of wealth creation. But here's the kicker. That incredible stock growth didn't come in a straight line. Key takeaway number 2, stocks are way more volatile than bonds. Their value can swing up and down dramatically day to day, month to month, and year to year. Bonds, on the other hand, are like the steady tortoise, slow and steady with far fewer stomach-churning drops. Your burning questions answered. Sort of. Seeing those numbers, you're probably thinking one of 2 things. 1, stocks win. Shouldn't I just put all my money in stocks? 2, stocks can drop 30 to 40%. Maybe I should just stick to stable bonds. Both are valid thoughts, but neither is the complete picture for your journey. The perfect mix for you depends on your goals, your timeline, and your comfort with risk. Before we jump into crafting your personalized investment strategy, we need to add another crucial tool to your arsenal: mutual funds. That's up next. 3 key concepts to own. Stocks equals ownership. You own a piece of a company with unlimited growth potential. Bonds equals debt. You lend money for predictable interest payments and the return of your principal. Long-term stocks win. Historically, stocks vastly outperform bonds over many years, but get ready for a bumpier ride. Chapter 20, the easy button for investing, mutual funds. There seems to be some perverse human characteristic that likes to make easy things difficult. Warren Buffett. Ever tried to build something from scratch only to realize it's way more complex than you thought? Like my father-in-law, who can build an entire house, plumbing, electrical, roofing, the works. It's seriously impressive, but for most of us, that's a hard pass. We'd rather hire the pros, right? Investing can feel the same way. You could spend countless hours researching individual stocks and bonds, picking each one yourself. Some people do, and hats off to them. But let's be real, for 99% of us, that's not only time-consuming, but also incredibly complex. Good news, there's an easy button for investing: mutual funds. Think of a mutual fund as a super smart, pre-packaged investment bundle. Instead of buying individual pieces, you're buying a tiny slice of a giant pie that holds hundreds, even thousands of stocks, bonds, or both. It's like a playlist curated by the pros, so you don't have to hunt for every single song. Let's break down how this works with a quick example. Imagine you want to invest in the 500 largest US companies like Apple, Google, Amazon, the big guns. Trying to buy shares of each one individually would be a nightmare. The transaction fees alone would eat into your money, and the time commitment, forget about it. Plus, you'd constantly be buying and selling as companies move in and out of the top 500. It's a full-time job. Enter mutual funds. Many funds exist that literally track the S&P 500 index. The S&P 500 is simply a list of those 500 giant companies. When you invest in an S&P 500 index mutual fund, you instantly own a tiny piece of all 500 companies. When the S&P 500 changes its lineup, the fund automatically adjusts. See? Nothing. See, this is your first taste of truly set it and forget it investing. And trust me, it only gets better from here. Chash. The 2 MVPs of mutual funds: active versus index. When it comes to mutual funds, there are 2 main types you need to know. 1, actively managed funds. These are like a professional sports team with a highly paid coach and scouting staff. They employ a team of financial experts who actively research, analyze, and pick specific stocks and bonds they think will outperform the market. Their goal is to beat the overall market, and you pay them a fee for their expertise. Number 2, index mutual funds. These are the unsung heroes of investing. Instead of hiring a fancy team to pick investments, they simply track a specific market index like the S&P 500 we just talked about. They don't try to beat the market, they are the market. This is often called passive investing because there's no active decision-making about what to buy or sell. The fund just follows the index. So, which one wins in the long run? This might be the most heated debate in finance, but I'm going to settle it for you right now. No fluff. Index funds. Seriously, that's it. If you want a few more words of wisdom, over long periods, index funds consistently outperform the vast majority of actively managed funds, especially after you factor in fees and taxes. Don't just take my word for it. Decades of data prove this out. Most actively managed funds fail to beat their benchmark index year after year. Over 15-year periods, a staggering 90% of actively managed funds underperform their respective indexes. Why do index funds dominate? Let's break down the secret sauce. 1, fees, the silent killer. Actively managed funds charge significantly higher fees because you're paying for that expert team. These fees, even seemingly small, can eat away at your returns like termites. An actively managed fund charging 1% in fees needs to beat the market by 1% just to break even with a comparable index fund. Most can't, especially over the long haul. 2, tax surprise. Actively managed funds trade more frequently, buying and selling stocks and bonds. This activity can generate taxable gains for you even if you don't sell your fund shares. Index funds, with their set it and forget it approach, generate fewer taxable events. 3. Cash drag. Actively managed funds often hold a portion of their assets in cash, waiting for the perfect investment opportunity. While seemingly cautious, this cash isn't working for you, creating a drag on performance compared to a fully invested index fund. Number 4, performance. The elephant in the room. Despite all the fancy degrees and credentials, most fund managers simply cannot consistently beat the market. The financial world is incredibly efficient, and finding those hidden gems year after year is practically impossible. The takeaway? Index funds are the ultimate win-win-win. They're cheap, simple, and they beat most of the experts over the long run. Understanding your flavor of index funds. Just like there are different types of coffee, there are different flavors of stock and bond index funds. Knowing these categories helps you build a well-diversified portfolio without getting overwhelmed. Stock index funds, your equity playground. Stock index funds are generally categorized by 1. Size, market cap. This refers to the total value of a company's outstanding shares. Large cap, think titans like Apple and Microsoft, valued in the hundreds of billions or even trillions. Mid cap, companies in the sweet spot, not too big, not too small. Small cap, smaller, often lesser known companies. Historically, small cap stocks have offered higher returns, but also come with higher volatility, more ups and downs. 2. Location. Where are the companies headquartered? U.S. companies, homegrown giants, international foreign companies, companies outside the U.S. These can be further broken down into developed countries, mature economies like Germany or Japan, emerging markets, faster growing but potentially riskier economies like India or Brazil. 3. Valuation, growth versus value, growth stocks. Companies expected to grow revenue and earnings rapidly, e.g. Tesla, Amazon, often pricier relative to current earnings. Value stocks, companies that appear undervalued by the market, often older or more established businesses, e.g. Ford, Procter & Gamble. Blend, funds that mix both growth and value stocks, like an S&P 500 fund. 4. Specialty, funds that focus on specific industries or asset classes. REITs, real estate investment trusts, funds that invest in income-producing real estate, apartments, shopping malls, etc. Pro tip, due to tax implications, hold these in retirement accounts. Commodity funds, invest in raw materials like oil, gold, or corn. Knowing these categories empowers you. When your 401k offers a U.S. small cap value fund, you'll know exactly what you're looking at, a fund investing in smaller, U.S.-based companies that the market might be overlooking. You're no longer intimidated by the jargon. Bond mutual funds. The stability anchors bonds are the steady eddies of your portfolio, providing stability and income. Bond mutual funds come in different flavors too. 1. Borrower, who issued the bond. Government bonds, issued by the U.S. government, generally considered safest. Corporate bonds, issued by companies. Risk varies by companies' financial health. Municipal bonds, munis, issued by state and local governments, often tax-exempt at the federal level, sometimes state local too. 2. Location, U.S. versus international bonds. 3. Credit risk, default risk, the chance the borrower won't pay you back. High-quality bonds, issued by financially strong entities, low risk, lower interest. High-yield bonds, junk bonds, issued by companies with shakier financials, higher risk, higher interest to compensate. Junk doesn't mean worthless, it means more risk. 4. Interest rate risk, the risk that rising interest rates will decrease the value of existing bonds. Short-term bonds, less sensitive to interest rate changes. Intermediate-term bonds, moderate sensitivity. Long-term bonds, most sensitive to interest rate changes, higher risk but potentially higher returns if rates fall. TIPS, Treasury inflation-protected securities and I bonds, special U.S. government bonds designed to protect you from inflation by adjusting their interest rate. They offer insurance against rising rates, but start with a lower yield. The key term here is duration. A bond fund's duration generally tells you how sensitive it is to interest rate changes. A longer duration means more interest rate risk. For example, a short-term bond fund typically has a duration of less than 3 years, meaning its value is less impacted by rising interest rates. This is about stability. Tash 3 Key Takeaways. 1. Mutual funds are your ultimate investing easy button, allowing you to own thousands of stocks or bonds through a single simple investment. 2. Index funds are the reigning champions. They consistently outperform most actively managed funds over the long term, thanks to lower fees and a passive market tracking approach. Embrace the power of set it and forget it with index funds. Number 3, stock and bond mutual funds come in diverse flavors: size, location, valuation, borrower, risk. Understanding these categories helps you intelligently diversify your portfolio without needing to become a Wall Street expert. Chapter 21. Don't let small fees steal your freedom. Most institutional and individual investors will find the best way to own common stock is through an index fund that charges minimal fees. Warren Buffett. Remember when we talked about the matrix, that hidden system that kept people from seeing the truth? Well, investment fees are your financial matrix. They seem small, even harmless, but they're silently working against you, eating away at your hard-earned money and delaying your journey to financial freedom. A tiny 1% fee sounds like nothing, right? Wrong. It's a stealthy wealth destroyer. The good news? You've got the power to fight back. It's incredibly easy to find low-fee investments that will supercharge your financial growth. In fact, it's a total game changer. Historically, the cheaper an investment is, the better it performs over the long haul. This might go against everything you've been taught about getting what you pay for. But in the investing world, less truly is more. In this chapter, we're going to pull back the curtain on 3 common mutual fund fees. Then we'll dive into why these fees matter so much. And finally, I'll arm you with the knowledge to identify what a truly reasonable fee looks like. Decoding mutual fund fees. Mutual funds aren't free, and the companies managing them charge for their work. Here are the main culprits. Expense ratio. This is the most common fee. It's a percentage of your investment that the fund company takes every single year. For example, a 1% expense ratio means $100 vanishes from every $10,000 you have invested annually. Expense ratios are often talked about in basis points, BIPs. 100 BIPs equals 1%. They can range from a tiny 0.05% to a hefty 2% or more. Transaction costs. Think of it like this. When you buy or sell stocks, you pay a brokerage fee. Mutual funds do the same when they trade stocks and bonds. Here's the kicker. These transaction costs are separate from the expense ratio, and you often don't see them up front. Why? Because even the fund doesn't know what they'll be until trades are made. The important takeaway? Index funds generally have significantly lower transaction costs because they trade less frequently than actively managed funds. Another win for index funds. Load fees. Not all funds have these, but if they do, run for the hills. Load fees are charges you pay either when you buy shares, front-end load, or when you sell shares, a back-end load. A common front-end load can be as high as 5.75% of your investment. Funds with load fees also tend to have higher expense ratios, with these fees often going to pay the salespeople who push these funds. The index funds I recommend, they don't have load fees. Period. Why small fees are your worst enemy. Let me tell you, I learned this the hard way. One of my first investments was an actively managed fund with a brutal 5.75% front-end load and an annual expense ratio over 1%. Ouch! Let's crunch the numbers with a real-world example from our Money Multiplier chapter. Remember how investing just $208 a month at 9.3% could get you $1,708,072.76 after 45 years? Now, let's see what those small fees do. Load fee. That 5.75% load fee immediately shaves $11.96 off your $208 monthly investment, leaving only $196 for friends to actually grow. Expense ratio. Your 1% expense ratio eats into your returns, dropping your net annual return from 9.3% to 8.3%. The result? Your $1,708,076 dream shrinks to just $143,727.27.39. Those small fees just cost you a staggering $564,344.37, a full 33% of your potential wealth. Seriously, friends, don't let friends pay high investment fees. Now, let's look at this through the lens of achieving level 7 financial freedom. We estimated it would take about 31 years with a 20% saving rate and a 6.3% real return. What happens when those small fees enter the picture? Your effective saving rate drops because of the load fee. Your real return dips due to the expense ratio. Instead of 31 years, you're now looking at closer to 36 years to reach level 7. Those small fees translate into over 4 years of extra work just to catch up. Yes, fees absolutely matter. This brings us to 2 critical questions for your financial freedom journey. 1. When it comes to fees, what's truly reasonable? 2. How do you keep your fees as low as possible? What's a reasonable fee? Remember, mutual funds come in 2 main flavors, actively managed and index funds. With very few exceptions, actively managed funds are significantly more expensive. Actively managed funds, if you must go this route, though I highly recommend against it, aim for an expense ratio below 0.75%, 75 basis points. Closer to 0.50% is even better. But honestly, for your freedom, this is still too high for my taste. Index funds. This is where you want to be. Aim for an expense ratio below 0.25%, 25 basis points, and ideally below 0.10%, 10 basis points. The best index funds from powerhouses like Vanguard and Fidelity often charge less than 0.05%, 5 basis points. And get this, Fidelity even offers some index funds for free. And as a golden rule, never invest in a mutual fund that charges load fees. They are a pure wealth drain. Your low-fee battle plan. The simplest, most effective way to keep your fees rock bottom is right here. Stick to index funds. Not only are they dirt cheap, but as we've discussed, they consistently outperform the vast majority of expensive actively managed funds over the long run. Fees are one of the few things you, the investor, can actually control. Make it count. Keep them as low as humanly possible so your money works its hardest for you, not for some fund company or advisor. Your future self will thank you for every penny you save from those insidious fees. 3 key concepts. Fees are one of the few things investors can control. High fees can add years, even a decade, to the time it takes you to reach level 7 financial freedom. Index funds offer both low fees and better performance. Chapter 22, Investing Made Easy. Ditch the jargon, keep the returns. Make everything as simple as possible, but not simpler. Albert Einstein. Feeling like your brain is doing acrobatics after the last few chapters? Take a deep breath. This chapter is your financial chill pill. We're about to uncover shockingly simple, yet incredibly powerful ways to invest. Seriously, you can build a killer investment portfolio with just one fund. No, that's not a typo. You're investing GPS, simple goals, big returns. Before we dive into the how, let's lock in our what. Our investment journey has just 4 clear goals. Diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. The future's a mystery. Will U.S. stocks soar? Foreign markets crush it? Big companies, small companies, real estate? We have no clue. That's why we spread our money across different types of investments, or asset classes. It's like having a balanced meal instead of just dessert. Easy peasy. Equities. Ride the stock market rocket. History shouts it from the rooftops. Stocks outperform bonds over the long haul. Remember how that impacts your journey to level 7 financial freedom? We want the lion's share of your money working hard in stocks. Low cost, keep your hard-earned cash. Every dollar you pay in fees is a dollar not working for you. This is why we're obsessed with index funds. They're like the discount stores of the investing world, offering incredible value without the hefty price tag of actively managed funds. Simplicity. Your brain deserves a break. Life's already complicated enough, right? Investing doesn't have to be another headache. We're all about strategies that are easy to understand, easy to manage, and leave you more time for the things you love. So, how do we fuse these goals into a rock-solid investment plan? It's easier than you think, and we've got a few awesome paths to choose from. Let's start with a true game changer. Target date retirement funds. The set it and forget it superstars. Target date retirement funds. Imagine a mutual fund that does all the heavy lifting for you. That's a target date retirement TDR fund. These brilliant inventions give you incredible diversification, tons of stock exposure, and super low costs, all wrapped up in a single investment. Let's use Vanguard's target retirement funds as our prime example, since they're leaders in low-cost, effective investing. Say you're 25 and aiming to retire around 65. That means you're looking at a 220-65 retirement year. You'd simply pick a fund like the Vanguard Target Retirement 2065 Fund, VTSX Star. And guess what? That's your only investment. Seriously. But how diversified can one fund be, you ask? Brace yourself. Vanguard takes your single investment and smartly distributes it across 4 other powerful Vanguard funds. Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund Investor Shares, your slice of the entire U.S. stock market. Vanguard Total International Stock Index Fund Investor Shares, your passport to global companies. Vanguard Total Bond Market 2 Index Fund Investor Shares, your stake in the U.S. bond market. Vanguard Total International Bond Index Fund Investor Shares, your access to bonds from around the world. Don't just count funds. Look at what they own. The Vanguard Total International Stock Index Fund, for example, holds shares in over 6,000 different global companies. The Vanguard Total Bond Market 2 Index Fund is invested in over 13,000 bonds. This means you're diversified across big and small companies, U.S. and foreign markets, and different investment styles. Yes, you are incredibly diversified, and the cost? Minimal. Good TDR funds like Vanguard's have expense ratios, the annual fee, as low as 0.155%. That's just 15 cents for every $100 invested. No sneaky load fees, sales commissions either. And you can often start with as little as $1,000. The double power-up, automatic rebalancing and glide path. TDR funds have 2 more superpowers that make them truly set it and forget it. 1. Automatic rebalancing. Your investments are constantly shifting in value. One day stocks are up, bonds are down, and your carefully planned allocation, say 70% stocks, 30% bonds, gets out of whack. Rebalancing means buying and selling to bring it back to your target. With a TDR fund, you don't lift a finger. They do it for you, constantly keeping your portfolio aligned with your goals. 2. The retirement glide path. As you get closer to retirement, your investment needs change. You might want less risk. TDR funds automatically adjust their asset allocation over time, gradually shifting from a higher stock allocation for growth when you're young to a more conservative mix with more bonds for stability as you near retirement. For example, a 2065 fund today might be 90% stocks, 10% bonds. A 2030 fund for someone closer to retirement could be 50% stocks, 50% bonds. This intelligent shift happens seamlessly, adapting your risk exposure as you age. Beyond simplicity meets control. Target date funds are amazing, but they're not the only game in town. Why consider alternatives?
You want control.
TDR funds are simple because they make the decisions for you. You might want to steer the ship a bit more. Your 401k options. Some workplace retirement plans might not offer TDR funds, or the ones they do offer might have high fees. Always check those expense ratios. Taxable accounts. TDR funds include bonds, and bond interest is taxable. It's generally smarter to keep bond funds in tax-advantaged accounts, like a 401k or IRA, to avoid unnecessary taxes. Cost savings. While good TDRs are cheap, you can sometimes shave off a tiny bit more by investing directly in their underlying index funds. Ready for some alternatives that still keep it simple? There's the TDR plus one strategy, a little extra spice. Want a bit more personalization without sacrificing simplicity? The TDR plus one strategy is your move. You pick your TDR fund and add one extra fund that aligns with a specific investment style you care about. For instance, legendary investor Paul Merriman suggests pairing a TDR with a small cap value fund like the Vanguard Small Cap Value Index Fund, VISVX. This lets you lean into an area that historically offers higher returns while your TDR handles the broad diversification. You might do 90% in your TDR and 10% in the small cap value fund. Simple, yet powerful. The Bogleheads Brilliant Basic, the 3-fund portfolio. This strategy is championed by the Bogleheads, a passionate community of investors named after Vanguard founder John Bogle, the pioneer of index funds. It's elegant in its simplicity, requiring just 3 core index mutual funds. 1, U.S. stocks. 2, foreign stocks. 3, U.S. bonds. That's it. Now for the crucial question. How do you split your money? A great starting point is to mimic what the target date funds do. Find the Vanguard TDR fund for your projected retirement year and see its stock to bond allocation. For most long-term investors, those who won't need the money for at least a decade, an 80-20 portfolio, 80% stocks, 20% bonds, is a fantastic sweet spot. Here's a classic 3-fund setup using Vanguard funds. 50% Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, VTSX, covers nearly every U.S. company. 30% Vanguard Total International Stock Index Fund, V, spans thousands of global companies. 20% Vanguard Total Bond Index Fund, VBTLX, invests in the entire U.S. bond market. Don't overthink your stock to bond allocation. It's more of an art than a science. An 80-20 is great, but 70-30 or even 90-10 are also perfectly reasonable for long-term growth. The key is picking one and sticking with it. The adventurous route, the 6-fund portfolio. For those who want even more granularity and are willing to put in a little extra effort, a 6-fund portfolio offers broader diversification across specific market segments. This is an approach some experienced investors like me have used for years. Here's an example breakdown and the types of Vanguard funds you could use. U.S. large cap stocks, 30%. Vanguard 500 Index Fund Admiral Shares, FVIX. U.S. small cap value stocks, 10%. Vanguard Small Cap Value Index Fund Admiral Shares, U.S. bonds, 20%. Vanguard Intermediate Term Bond Index Fund Admiral Shares, VBILX. Foreign developed country stocks, 20%. Vanguard Developed Markets Index Fund Admiral Shares. Emerging market stocks, 10%. Vanguard Emerging Markets Stock Index Fund Admiral Shares Max. REITs, Real Estate Investment Trusts, Vanguard Real Estate Index Fund Admiral Shares VGSLX. Yes, this requires a bit more rebalancing from your side. Once a year is usually enough, but it gives you finer control over your portfolio's ingredients. It's more hands-on than a TDR fund, but still totally manageable. Your choice, your journey. Pick what works for you. There's no single right answer here. For most young professionals and creatives just starting their investing journey, a target date retirement fund inside a retirement account, like a 401k or IRA, is an absolute home run. It's incredibly simple, effective, and builds a powerful foundation. Ultimately, the best portfolio is the one you understand, and more importantly, the one you'll stick with through thick and thin, no matter how the market performs. We'll dive deeper into that stick-to-itiveness in the chapter about you. A quick note on Vanguard. You've probably noticed I lean heavily on Vanguard examples. That's because they practically invented the index fund as we know it, and in my experience, they genuinely prioritize investors. They've been my go-to for decades. 3 key takeaways. Investing doesn't have to be complicated. Simple and effective strategies like target date retirement funds and the 3-fund portfolio can build incredible wealth. There's no one-size-fits-all investment plan. Your best approach depends on your comfort level, the options in your workplace retirement plan, and whether you prefer more control or ultimate simplicity. Whatever strategy you choose, the most crucial step is to stick with it. Consistency and discipline are your superpowers in the investing world. Chapter 23. Supercharge your savings, the ultimate retirement account playbook. Don't simply retire from something, have something to retire to. Harry Emerson Fosdick. You're hyped. You've nailed the money multiplier, slashed your spending with the money audit, and locked in your investment strategy. Now it's time to actually put your money to work. But wait, 401k? IRA? Roth what now? Taxable accounts? Your head might be spinning faster than a DJ on a Saturday night. Relax. This isn't rocket science. We're breaking down the confusing world of retirement accounts into a simple, actionable plan that will transform you into a savings superhero. Here's the game plan for this chapter. 1. The A-list accounts. We'll demystify the core types of retirement accounts so you know exactly what you're dealing with. 2. Your power play. We'll reveal the ultimate strategy for where to invest your hard-earned cash. 3. Level up your strategy. We'll dive into the why behind the plan and how to tweak it for your unique journey. 4. Game changers. Learn when and why you might want to switch things up. Let's get you set up for financial victory. The A-list accounts. Your financial freedom allies think of retirement accounts as special containers for your money that come with incredible tax perks, helping your wealth grow faster. They generally fall into three categories. Workplace warriors. Accounts offered through your employer, think 401ks. Solo stash. Accounts you open yourself, your trusty IRAs. Health hustlers. Health savings accounts, HSAs, a hidden gem for both health, and wealth. Let's break down each one. Workplace warriors, your employer's secret weapon. Most commonly, you'll encounter a 401k. Don't worry about the weird name, it's just a tax code thing. Who cares, right? Just know it's powerful. Government employees, military personnel, and some local workers might see a TSP or 457 plan, which are essentially siblings to the 401k. For simplicity, we'll call them all workplace retirement accounts. The lowdown. Contribution limits. There's a cap on how much you can contribute each year, e.g. $23,000 in 2024, adjust for inflation. If you're 50 or older, you can throw in extra catch-up contributions. Investment choices. Your employer picks the company that manages the account and the investment options available to you. Free money alert, the company match. This is huge. Many employers will match a percentage of your contributions. It's literally free money. Don't leave it on the table. Traditional versus Roth 401k. Pick your tax superpower. Workplace accounts usually come in two flavors, and the main difference is when you pay taxes. Traditional 401k tax break today. How it works. Your contributions are deducted from your taxable income now. So if you contribute $10,000 and your tax rate is 25%, you instantly save $2,500 on your current tax bill. Sweet. Sweet. The catch. When you withdraw the money in retirement, contributions, earnings, it's all taxed as ordinary income. You're deferring the tax bill. Roth 401k, tax-free future. How it works. You contribute money after taxes have been paid. No upfront tax deduction. The superpower, here's where it gets exciting. When you take qualified distributions in retirement, all of it, your contributions and all the investment earnings are 100% tax-free. Imagine this, you invest $10,000 in a Roth 401k at 25. 40 years later, that $10,000 could be worth over $400,000, and every single cent is yours, tax-free. That's a serious win. So, which is better? For most young professionals and creatives building wealth, the Roth 401k is the clear winner. We'll dive deeper into why shortly. Solo stash, your personal investment playground. An individual retirement account, IRA, is an account you set up giving you total control over where it's held and what you invest in. The lowdown. Contribution limits lower than 401ks, e.g. $7,000 in 2024, adjust for inflation. If you're 50 or older, you can add an extra catch-up cup contribution. Traditional versus Roth IRA, more tax flexibility and a little more complexity. Traditional IRA is complicated. How it works. Contributions might be tax deductible, but it depends on your income and whether you're covered by a workplace plan. The rules are a bit of a maze, so if this sounds like you, a quick chat with a tax pro or your favorite tax software is key. The catch. Withdrawals in retirement are taxed as ordinary income, similar to a traditional 401k. Roth IRA, the simpler and often better choice. How it works. Contributions are not tax deductible. The superpower. Qualified withdrawals in retirement are 100% tax-free, just like a Roth 401k. You can also withdraw your contributions, not earnings, at any time, tax and penalty-free, making it a surprisingly flexible emergency backup. The too rich problem and the backdoor Roth. If your income is too high to contribute directly to a Roth IRA, don't fret. The backdoor Roth IRA is your secret weapon. You contribute to a traditional IRA, which might not be deductible for you anyway, then immediately convert it to a Roth IRA. Boom. Instant Roth access, often with minimal, if any, tax hit. Health hustlers, the ultimate triple tax advantage. Seriously. A health savings account, HSA, is a powerhouse, but only available if you have a high deductible health plan. HP, your insurance provider, will let you know if your plan qualifies. Why is an HSA a retirement account in disguise? It offers a mind-blowing triple tax advantage. 1. Tax deductible contributions. Money goes in pre-tax, lowering your taxable income today. 2. Tax-free growth. Your investments grow completely tax-free. 3. Tax-free withdrawals if used for qualified medical expenses even decades later. Withdrawals are 100% tax-free. Think about it. Tax deduction going in, tax-free growth, and tax-free withdrawals. It's the unicorn of financial accounts. Plus, unlike a flexible spending account FSA, your HSA funds roll over year after year. Once you hit 65, you can withdraw money for any reason without penalty, though it will be taxed as ordinary income if not for medical expenses. HSAs are a game changer for your financial future. Your power play, the Retirement Account Action Plan. Now that you know the players, here's the battle plan for where to invest your hard-earned cash. This is the optimal sequence for most of you aiming for financial freedom. Step number 1, grab the free money. Max your Roth 401k match. This is non-negotiable. If your employer offers a match on your 401k contributions, e.g., they'll match 50 cents for every dollar you put in, up to 6% of your salary, contribute at least enough to get that full match. If your employer doesn't offer a Roth 401k option, then contribute to the traditional 401k to get the match. Why? Because it's a guaranteed instant return on your investment. It's like finding a winning lottery ticket and setting it on fire if you don't take it. This free money seriously accelerates your journey to retire before mom and dad. Plus, it's automatic payroll deduction, making saving effortless. Step number 2, max out your Roth IRA. Once you've snagged that free employer match, your next move is to fully fund your Roth IRA. Why? Total control, incredible flexibility, and tax-free growth. You choose your investments, and if you ever need your contributions back for a true emergency, not that new gadget, you can withdraw them tax and penalty-free. If your income is too high for a direct Roth IRA contribution, use the backdoor Roth strategy we discussed. Step number 3, unleash the power of your HSA if you have an HDHP. If you have a qualifying high-deductible health plan, this is your next priority. Max it out. Why? The triple tax advantage is simply unmatched. While some argue for prioritizing the HSA even earlier, the Roth IRA's flexibility for contributions as an emergency fund often makes it a slight edge in our plan. But make no mistake, the HSA is a financial powerhouse you don't want to skip. Step number 4, finish maxing out your Roth 401k. After securing the company match, maxing your Roth IRA, and funding your HSA, it's time to fill up your Roth 401k to its annual limit. Why? More tax-free growth for your future. The higher contribution limits of a 401k allow you to supercharge your retirement savings beyond what an IRA alone can offer. Step number 5, invest the rest in a taxable account. You're a financial rock star if you've made it this far. Once all your tax-advantaged accounts are maxed out, funnel any additional savings into a standard taxable brokerage account. Why? While it doesn't offer the same tax perks, it provides ultimate flexibility. There are no contribution limits, no withdrawal restrictions other than capital gains taxes, and it's a great place to stash funds for shorter-term goals or simply to keep growing your wealth without limits. Game changers. When to bend the rules. While the above plan is ideal for most, life throws curveballs. Here are a few situations where you might tweak your strategy. High-income earners. Embrace the traditional. If you're currently in a very high income tax bracket, federal and state, the immediate tax deduction from a traditional 401k or IRA might save you more in taxes today than the future tax-free growth of a Roth. Work with a tax professional to crunch the numbers. Crappy 401k options. Get the match, then bolt. If your employer's 401k plan offers terrible investment options, high fees, limited choices, contribute just enough to get the company match, then pivot to your Roth IRA and HSA. When you leave that job, you can usually roll over your old 401k into an IRA, giving you full control. Immediate health needs, HSA first. If you anticipate significant medical expenses now, prioritizing your HSA contributions to cover those costs might make more sense. You still want that 401k match, but your HSA becomes a critical immediate financial buffer, the early retirement ACE, Roth conversion ladder. If your dream is to retire way before 60, you might consider contributing to traditional retirement accounts during your high-earning years. Once you retire and your income drops, you can strategically convert portions of your traditional IRA 401k to a Roth IRA each year, paying minimal taxes on the conversion. This Roth conversion ladder allows you to access your retirement funds tax-free before age 59 and a half. This is an advanced strategy, so do your homework. Multitasking your savings. The plan is step by step for clarity, but in reality, you might be contributing to a few accounts simultaneously. That's perfectly fine. The key is to keep your eyes on the prize, securing that employer match, maxing out your Roth IRA, and leveraging your HSA. Emergency savings, your financial safety net. Before you dive headfirst into retirement accounts, you need a robust emergency fund. This isn't just about investing, it's about protecting your financial future from the unexpected. Car troubles, leaky roofs, job loss, life happens. Your emergency fund playbook. 1. Start strong. Save 1 month of expenses first. Before anything else, build a buffer of at least 1 month's living expenses. This is your immediate priority. 2. Stash it smart, high-yield savings account. Keep this cash in a separate high-yield online savings account. It earns more interest than a traditional bank account and keeps it easily accessible but out of sight for impulse spending. 3. Then the match. Once you have that 1 month saved, then begin contributing to your 401k to get your employer match. 4. Roth IRA as backup. After the match, focus on funding your Roth IRA. Remember, you can always withdraw your contributions from a Roth IRA tax and penalty-free in a true emergency. It's a fantastic secondary layer to your emergency fund. 3 key concepts. Your retirement account toolkit. 1. Tax Advantage Turbocharge. Retirement accounts are designed to minimize your tax bill, helping your money grow faster and reach financial freedom sooner. 2. Roth reigns supreme. For most young professionals and creatives, Roth accounts, Roth 401k, Roth IRA, are the best bet, offering incredible tax-free growth and withdrawals in retirement. 3. HSA, the triple threat MVP. If you qualify, the health savings account is arguably the most powerful tax-advantaged account available, offering tax deductions, tax-free growth, and tax-free withdrawals for medical expenses, and more flexibility in retirement. Chapter 24. Decode your 401k, your blueprint for financial freedom. All right, freedom fighter, you're charged up, ready to conquer your financial future. You've heard the whispers of the Roth 401k, the magic of the company match, and the sheer power of investing, because you've been crushing this book, obviously. Your heart is pounding with anticipation as you log into your company's 401k portal. Then, whoosh, the air goes out of the balloon. Suddenly, you're staring at a screen full of acronyms and numbers that look more like an alien language than a path to early retirement. My own 401k through Fidelity, for instance, throws 29 different investment options at me. Just a peek at the top few. AFGRTH Fund AMAR R6 are stock investments, FID 500 Index stock investments, FID Contra Fund K, FKX stock investments, Diverse FD and K stock investments. Your first thought, like mine, might be, which one has the best past performance? You see columns like 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year, but then the doubts creep in. Which time frame matters most? What if the past doesn't predict the future? Panic sets in. Stop. Breathe. You've got this. This chapter is your secret weapon. We're going to demystify mutual funds and turn that overwhelm into unstoppable confidence. We'll use real-world examples, like my 401k options, to show you exactly how to pick smart investments. By the end, you'll be able to confidently choose either a game-changing target date retirement fund or build your own powerful 3-fund portfolio. Your 401k will no longer be a mystery. It'll be your personal launchpad to financial independence. And the best part? We're only using one free tool, Morningstar.com. All the intel you need is right there at your fingertips. While your 401k provider also offers this data, Morningstar presents it consistently, making it easier to learn the ropes. Option 1. The Set and Forget Superpower, Target Date Retirement Funds, TDRs. Think of TDRs as your investment autopilot. They're designed to do the heavy lifting for you, like adjusting their risk level as you get closer to your target retirement year. How to spot them. Look for fund names with years in them, like Fidelity Freedom 2040. Fidelity calls theirs Freedom Funds, but other providers have similar names. Let's examine FID Freedom 2040K FSNVX as an example. What you need to know, just two things. 1. Fees. This is where you become a hawk. High fees are silent wealth destroyers. Head to Morningstar.com and type in the ticker symbol, e.g. FSNVX. On the fund's summary page, look for load and expenses. Load fees. We want 0. These are upfront sales charges that eat into your initial investment. For FSNVX, it's thankfully none. Perfect. Expense ratio. This is the annual percentage of your investment that goes to fund management. For FSNVX, it's 0.65%. This is where we pump the brakes. 0.65% is too high. Remember, we're on a mission to retire before mom and dad. Every basis point, 0.01% saved, is more money working for you, not some fund manager. Aim for 0.15% or less for passive index funds. Seriously, shaving just 0.50% off your expenses can cut months off your journey to financial freedom, all for simply picking the right fund. If your TDR has high fees, you might consider other options. But let's briefly look at the second factor, just in case. 2. Stock bond allocation. TDRs automatically adjust their mix of stocks, higher growth potential, more volatility, and bonds, more stable, lower growth. To check this, click the portfolio link on the Morningstar page. For our Fidelity 2040 fund, it's 85% stocks, 15% bonds. For someone aiming to retire in 2040, this is a reasonable allocation. Pro tip, flex your TDR. Don't feel locked into the TDR year that perfectly matches your retirement. If you want a more aggressive, more stock-heavy portfolio, pick a TDR with a later date, e.g. a 2050 fund for a 2040 retirement. The TDR police won't come knocking. Just keep an eye on its allocation over time to ensure it still aligns with your evolving financial goals. Option 2, the DIY powerhouse, the 3-fund portfolio. If your TDR options are too pricey or you just prefer a more hands-on approach, it's still super simple, promise. The 3-fund portfolio is your golden ticket. It's elegantly simple, incredibly effective, and ridiculously low cost. You need just 3 types of index funds. 1, U.S. Stock Index Fund, covers the broad U.S. market. 2, U.S. Bond Index Fund, provides stability and diversification. 3, International Stock Index Fund, gives you global exposure. Let's hunt for these in our sample 401k. 1, finding your U.S. stock superstar. FED 500 Index, FX jumps out. Index is a great sign. Plug X into Morningstar. Bingo, it's the Fidelity 500 Index Fund. Load fees, none. Expense ratio, a mind-blowing 0.02%, 0.02%. Tracks, the S&P 500. Verdict, perfect. This is exactly what we want for our U.S. stock allocation. Number 2, unearthing your U.S. bond anchor. FIDE U.S. bond IDX, FX next, looks promising. IDX again, to Morningstar with X confirmed. It's the Fidelity Bond Index Fund. Load fees, none. Expense ratio, a tiny 0.03%. Invests in primarily intermediate-term U.S. bonds. Portfolio check, over 90% in U.S. bonds. Verdict, nailed it. Add this to your 3-fund lineup. 3, discovering your international dynamo. Scanning the list, FID Intel Index, FSPSX, appears. Morningstar, let's go. FSPSX it is. Load fees, none. Expense ratio, just 0.05%. Invests in a diverse mix of large foreign companies, growth and value. Portfolio tab, you can dig deeper to see geographic breakdowns, Europe, Asia, Americas. Verdict, fantastic. Your international piece of the puzzle is complete. And there you have it, a powerhouse 3-fund portfolio built with ultra-low-cost index funds right from your own 401k. The same simple process applies if you want to explore other specific investments like emerging markets, small-cap funds, or REITs. You are now equipped to be your own financial detective. Share 3 key concepts, your takeaways. 1, evaluating mutual funds isn't rocket science. You don't need a finance degree to make smart choices. 2, free tools like Morningstar.com are your best friends. They give you all the data you need to make informed decisions about your 401k. 3, you can confidently pick a low-cost target date retirement fund or build your own powerful 3-fund portfolio. This knowledge gives you control and puts you squarely on the fast track to retiring before mom and dad. Chapter 25, let's get started. Your first $1 million move. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Old proverb, new you. You've got the vision, the drive, and now the knowledge. It's time to stop dreaming and start doing. This chapter is your direct action guide to making your first investment a reality. No more how-to questions, just we did it stories. Whether you're a corporate warrior or a creative hustler, this is where your financial independence journey truly kicks off. Your Launchpad, workplace retirement plans, 401k, and HSA. Think of your company's 401k as your financial VIP pass. Your employer has already done most of the heavy lifting. HR is your go-to support team, and dedicated helplines are there to answer any questions. This isn't just easy, it's a no-brainer first step. Action item number 1, sign up for your 401k right now. Seriously, pause reading, open a new tab, find your HR portal, or send an email to your HR representative. Get the ball rolling on your 401k enrollment. We'll wait. Done? Amazing. You've just taken a massive leap. Now, 2 crucial decisions. 1, how much are you investing? 2, what are you investing in? Decision 1, your contribution. Make it count. Remember those savings percentages we talked about earlier? That's your target. Your 401k makes it ridiculously simple to set your contributions as a percentage of your salary. This is automation at its finest. Set it and forget it. Well, mostly. Decision 2, your investments. Keep it simple, keep it smart. Your best friend here? Target date retirement, TDR funds. These are designed to simplify investing by automatically adjusting their asset allocation as you get closer to retirement. Think of it as a professional money manager working for you 24/7. Action item number 2, find your TDR fund. Locate the TDR fund in your 401k that aligns with your approximate retirement year. They usually come in 5-year increments. Pick the closest one. Quick check. Are you getting ripped off? Expense ratios matter. Even with the ease of TDRs, you need to be a savvy investor. That means understanding fees. The expense ratio is the annual fee you pay for the fund's management. Action item number 3, evaluate your TDR fund's expense ratio. Go to Morningstar.com, search for your fund's ticker symbol. Find the expense ratio under expenses. The golden rule, aim for an expense ratio below 0.25%, 25 basis points, ideally under 0.15%. Anything above 1% is a red flag. That's your hard-earned money evaporating. What if your TDR fund is too expensive? Don't fret, you've got options. 1, build your own 3-fund portfolio. Look for low-cost index funds within your 401k, a U.S. stock index, an international stock index, and a U.S. bond index. You can often build a more cost-effective, diversified portfolio this way. 2, speak up. Talk to your HR department. Express your desire for lower-cost investment options. Your voice, combined with others, can drive positive change. Congratulations! In a few simple steps, you've moved from aspiring investor to active participant. You're signed up, contributing, and investing. You're building a future that you control. Beyond the buffet. Taking charge with IRAs. If your 401k is a preset buffet, an IRA is your personal chef and menu. You have unlimited choices and complete control over where you invest your money. This freedom also means you get to pick the restaurant, the brokerage firm that serves you best. My top picks for your IRA playground. Vanguard, my long-standing favorite. Unbeatable for low-cost index fund account fees for IRAs and a super user-friendly platform. Fidelity, another powerhouse offering incredibly low-cost index funds, including some with 0 expense ratios. Their TDRs can be pricier, so be mindful. Schwab, surprisingly competitive with low-cost funds, even TDRs as low as 0.08%. A solid choice, though they have a $1,000 minimum deposit for IRAs. Betterment, robo-advisor. If you want ultimate simplicity with a set-it-and-forget-it approach, Betterment is a fantastic robo-advisor. They build and manage a diversified portfolio for you, similar to a TDR, but with more customization. Comes with a small management fee, but the convenience is huge. Action item number 4, open your Roth IRA. Once you've chosen your brokerage, opening an IRA is straightforward. Most can be done online in minutes. If you hit a snag, a quick call to their customer service will get you sorted. Fund your future. Once your account is open, you can make an initial lump sum investment, set up automatic monthly transfers from your checking account, highly recommended, contribute periodically throughout the year. Just remember the IRS contribution limits. Hashed the extra credit account, taxable accounts. Think of taxable accounts as your financial overflow. Once you've maxed out your 401k and IRA contributions, you rockstar you, this is where you keep building your wealth. Opening a taxable account is a breeze, especially if you open it with the same brokerage as your IRA. It keeps everything consolidated and simple. The main differences from an IRA: no contribution limits, sky's the limit. No Roth versus traditional decision, just a straightforward investment account, different forms, but the info you need is pretty much the same. Welcome to the Investor Club. You've done it. You've taken tangible steps toward financial freedom. It's simple, it's easy, it's awesome. 3 key concepts. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Chapter 26. You, the ultimate X factor. You've mastered the money multiplier, dialed in your savings rate, and got your investing strategy locked down. You're setting up that IRA, crushing your 401k, and even starting to eye mutual funds like a pro. We've talked about the mechanics, the numbers, the how-to. But here's the unvarnished truth. The biggest hurdle to your financial freedom isn't the market, a recession, or some complex investment jargon. It's you. It's one thing to shoot yourself in the foot, just don't reload the gun. Senator Lindsey Graham. Your emotions, fear, and greed are the ultimate game changers. They can be your greatest allies or your most formidable enemies on this journey. Let's break down how to conquer them and stay on track. The elephant in the room: investor returns versus total returns. Remember that hot mutual fund you just researched, the Fidelity New Millennium Fund, FMILX? Morningstar showed it crushed the S&P 500 over a decade with a 14.18% total return. Pretty sweet, right? Then you spot it, investor returns at a measly 13.09%. Wait, what? The fund did great, but the actual investors in it did worse than the market average? Here's the gut punch. Total returns assume you invested a lump sum and never touched it, set it and forget it. Investor returns show what real people actually earned, and it's almost always lower. Why? Because we're human. When the market soars, we pile in, greed. When it tanks, we panic and pull out, fear. This buy high, sell low cycle is a financial killer. Your mission? Don't be that investor. Punching back, mastering market volatility. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Mike Tyson. The stock market will punch you in the mouth, hard. Think 2008, 2009, when the S&P 500 lost over 50%. Banks teetered, jobs vanished, homes lost value. It was terrifying. But here's the kicker. Every single market downturn in history has been followed by a recovery. Every single one. You won't know when the next crisis hits, but you will know it's coming. So, how do you stand your ground when the financial sky falls? 1. Set realistic expectations. Life's not a straight line, neither is the market. Forget guaranteed 10% annual returns. Some years will be flat, some years will be brutal. Expect it. Embrace it. Life is difficult. This is a great truth. Once we truly know that life is difficult, once we truly understand and accept it, then life is no longer difficult. M. Scott Peck. Applying this to investing. Once you accept that sticking to your plan will be difficult, it becomes less difficult. You're prepared for the bumps. 2. Learn from history. The market always bounces back. Those who sold everything in 2008, 2009 are filled with regret. Why? Because the market not only recovered, but went on one of the greatest bull runs in history. If you'd kept investing, you'd have been buying stocks on sale. Look at the S&P 500's journey. A brutal 2008, buying at 38.49%, followed by a roaring 2009 plus 23.45%. Good years follow bad, and vice versa. This is normal. This is how wealth is built. 3. Embrace the dip. Falling markets are your friends. This might sound crazy, but for long-term investors, a falling market is a gift. Buy more for less. Your regular investments, 401k, IRA contributions, buy more shares when prices are down. It's like a perpetual Black Friday sale for your future self. Dividends work harder. When stock prices drop, your reinvested dividends buy more shares, supercharging your compounding. Companies buy back shares cheaply. Smart companies buy back their own stock when it's undervalued, making your existing shares more valuable. In short, low stock prices benefit long-term investors. It won't feel good, but mentally shift to opportunity. Tie your financial fort, fortifying your position. While your mindset is paramount, a few practical steps can make those market dips far less stressful. Enter 1. Right-size your asset allocation, but don't obsess. Your stock-to-bond mix asset allocation should reflect your risk tolerance. More bonds mean less volatility, but potentially lower returns. Don't be so conservative you miss your financial goals. The real challenge, how you feel when the market tanks with your increasing wealth. What felt fine with $50 in a 401k might feel terrifying with $1 million. Your asset allocation is a tool, not a magic bullet for fear. Touch 2. Annihilate debt. Your market crash superpower. This is crucial. A low debt burden is your ultimate shield against market chaos. No lifestyle debt. Credit card debt for daily living, a financial death trap. Get rid of it yesterday. Ditch car loans. Cars are depreciating assets. Adding interest debt is financial quicksand. Buy a reliable, affordable car and put the difference towards your investments. Master student loans. Explore forgiveness programs, smart repayment plans, and refinancing. Reduce that monthly pressure. Don't be house poor. Your home should be a blessing, not a financial burden. Aim for housing expenses no more than 20% of your gross income. Overspending here chokes your savings and makes downturns agonizing. When your debt is low, market drops are less about survival and more about opportunity. 3. Never stop learning. Stay sharp, stay informed. You don't need to be a finance guru, but don't bury your head in the sand. Read a financial news article weekly, pick up a solid investing book annually. The more you understand, the less intimidating the unknown becomes. The core message: you got this. You've built the knowledge, you've got the tools. Now, the final, most important step: trust yourself to stick to the plan. Your greatest asset isn't your portfolio balance, it's your discipline. 3 key concepts to own. 1. Your biggest financial risk isn't the market, it's your own fear and greed. Master them. 2. The key to wealth isn't timing the market, it's time in the market. Stick to your investment plan through thick and thin. 3. Fortify your position by crushing debt and continuously learning. This gives you peace of mind and resilience. Chapter 27. Getting investment help or not. You're on the path to retiring before mom and dad, building your freedom fund, and crushing your financial goals. You've mastered the art of saving, but what about investing? Maybe you're thinking, I'm great at creating, at innovating, at building my career, but do I really want to become a day trading guru? If you're like me, a DIY investor for decades, the thought of handing over my money is a non-starter. But I get it. Not everyone wants to dive deep into the world of balance sheets and market trends. And that's totally okay. The good news, you have fantastic, low-cost options for getting the help you need. Understanding the investment pros. What's their angle? Before you jump in, let's pull back the curtain on how investment professionals get paid. It's crucial to understand this because it directly impacts the advice they give. Generally, there are 2 main types: the commission crew. Watch out for red flags. Some financial folks earn their keep through commissions. Think of it like this: they get a cut from the investments they sell you. Ever heard of a load fee on a mutual fund? A chunk of that goes straight to the broker. The same often applies to complex insurance products, like those indexed annuities some folks try to push. Spoiler alert, I'm not a fan. The big issue here is a potential conflict of interest. If their paycheck depends on selling you specific products, guess what they'll push? Not necessarily the best investment for you, but the one that pays them the most. You'll rarely hear them recommend a low-cost index fund, for instance, because there's no fat commission in it for them. Your hard-earned money should work for you, not for their commission statement. The fee-only folks. Better, but still be smart. Then there are fee-only advisors. In theory, this is a much better setup. They charge you directly for their services rather than getting kickbacks from products. So their main motivation should be to find the absolute best investments for your unique situation. However, even here, conflicts can creep in. Most fee-only advisors charge a percentage of your assets under management, AUM, basically how much money you invest with them. The industry standard is often around 1% of AUM. Sounds small, right? Let's do the math. If you have $100,000 invested, that's $1,000 a year. But here's the kicker. That 1% fee will absolutely wreck your freedom fund. It's not just a little bite, it's a huge chunk of your potential growth. Over your lifetime, that seemingly small fee could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars and add years to your journey to financial freedom. Imagine this, you've hit level 7 with a cool $1 million nest egg. We've talked about the 4% rule, taking out about $40,000 a year in retirement. If you're paying a 1% fee, that $40,000 quickly shrinks to $30,000. That's a massive hit to your financial independence. High fives for low-cost help. Here's the awesome news. You don't have to go it alone or pay an arm and a leg. There are fantastic low-cost options that align with your goal of retiring before mom and dad. These services provide expert help without eating away at your future. Here are a few game changers. Vanguard Personal Advisor Services. If you have $50,000 or more, Vanguard will manage your portfolio for about 0.3%, 30 basis points. That's a fraction of the traditional 1%. Plus, their core philosophy is built around low-cost index funds, so your investment costs are already super low. Plan Vision. I've worked with Mark Zoril from Plan Vision, and he's a true hero in the financial world. How much does he charge? A flat $96 a year. That's it. He won't manage your investments for you, but he'll be your co-pilot, helping you build a rock-solid portfolio. He can also guide you on budgeting, retirement projections, insurance, and even Social Security. Robo-advisors like Betterment. These are your digital financial partners. Services like Betterment leverage technology to build and manage low-cost, diversified portfolios using exchange-traded funds, ETFs. Think of them like mutual funds that trade like stocks. The typical fee is incredibly low, around 0.25% to 0.35%, 25 to 35 basis points. Some even offer access to human advisors if you want to chat, though that might slightly increase the fee. Your money, your power. Key takeaways. 1. Be your own boss if you can. The absolute best option for maximizing your wealth is to learn the ropes and manage your own investments. It's empowering, and it keeps 100% of your returns in your pocket. 2. Say no thanks to expensive advice. Traditional commission brokers and even many fee-only advisors are just too pricey for anyone serious about financial freedom. Their fees are silent wealth destroyers. 3. Smart help is out there. If you want guidance, there are incredible low-cost resources available. These options provide excellent service without hijacking your journey to retire before mom and dad. Chapter 28, Small Steps, Big Wins, the Progress Principle. Great things are done by a series of small things brought together. Vincent van Gogh. Remember that wild idea we started with? Becoming a millionaire on a $50,000 salary? Even with no raises and saving just 5% of your income, we saw it was possible, hitting over $1.7 million in 45 years. That's the power of small, consistent actions. It's the same deal with your saving rate. We've talked about how saving 20% can get you to level 7 financial freedom in about 31 years, and 30% in roughly 25 years. But let's be real, sometimes those numbers feel impossible right now. And guess what? That's okay. It's not the end. It's just the beginning. The Progress Principle, your secret weapon. This is where the Progress Principle comes in, and it's a game changer. Imagine trying to hit a massive goal like discovering DNA. Yeah, seriously, it applies. James Watson and Francis Crick did it, not with one giant leap, but through a series of small wins and even some small defeats. What kept them going? Progress. Harvard Business School's Professor Teresa Amabile found that the single most important thing that boosts our motivation and performance is making progress in meaningful work. And the more often we feel that sense of progress, the more creatively productive we become. A small win lights a fire. So how does this apply to your financial freedom journey? Simple. Focus on achievable, smaller goals. If saving 30% right now feels like climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops, don't stare at the peak. Instead, set your sights on increasing your saving rate from, say, 5 to 7% over the next year. That's a small win you can actually feel yourself achieving. Why small wins are huge. Celebrating these small victories gives you two massive boosts. 1, you actually increase your saving rate. Those seemingly small bumps add up to a huge difference over time, snowballing your wealth faster than you think. 2, they fuel your motivation. Each small win proves to yourself that you can set goals, can achieve them, and can keep moving forward. They silence that annoying inner critic whispering doubts. If the progress principle can help unravel the mysteries of DNA, it can definitely help you conquer your financial goals. Ready to put the progress principle into action? Here are some ideas to get your own small wins rolling. Automate your 401k increases. Many plans let you set it to automatically bump up your contributions by 1% each year. Set it and forget it. Split your raise. When that next raise hits, dedicate half of it to increasing your saving rate. You won't even miss it. Invest your refund. Get a tax refund? Challenge yourself to put half of it directly into your savings or investments. Key concepts. Small wins make your financial goals feel achievable and keep you focused on what's possible now. The progress principle shows that seeing regular, even tiny improvements builds massive confidence and keeps you motivated for the long haul. Think creatively about your small wins. Automatically increasing 401k contributions or saving half your next raise are powerful moves. Chapter 29, Ditch the Debt, Unleash Your Wealth. Every time you borrow money, you're robbing your future self. Nathan W. Morris. Think of debt as running a race with weights strapped to your ankles. It slows you down, saps your energy, and can even bring you to a standstill. But here's the kicker. Getting out of debt isn't the ultimate goal. Financial freedom is. Debt just makes that journey harder. Over the next few chapters, we'll dive deep into debt. In this chapter, we'll expose debt's sneaky tricks, both psychological and mathematical. Then, in the next, you'll discover a powerful strategy to crush your debt. Finally, we'll tackle the age-old question, pay off debt first or invest while you owe. It's all about setting smart priorities. The 3 big problems with debt. Debt isn't just about the money you owe. It impacts your mindset and your future. Here's why it's a roadblock to your financial goals. 1. Debt makes you overspend. Ever been offered 0% financing and suddenly thought, maybe I do need that fancier couch? That's debt's subtle power at play. When you're not feeling the immediate pain of paying cash, it's easy to justify spending more than you truly can afford. For example, when I decided to get debt-free, I almost fell for a 0% financing offer on furniture. But I knew if I financed it, I'd probably buy more expensive items than I needed. Paying cash hurts in the moment, and that pain forces you to make smarter spending decisions. This is especially true with big purchases like cars and homes. Financing can lull you into buying more car or more house than your budget truly allows. Be hyper aware of how financing influences your buying decisions. Debt limits your freedom. Imagine navigating a narrow, dangerous path with no room to move. That's life with debt. Your options are limited, and every payment dictates your next step. One wrong move and you're in trouble. Now picture an open field, wide open spaces where you can go anywhere you choose. That's life without debt. You're free to pursue opportunities, take calculated risks, and pivot when life throws you a curveball. Trust me, the open field is where you want to be. 3. Debt is expensive. We've talked about the magic of compounding and how it can make your money grow exponentially. But with debt, compounding works against you. The interest you pay on debt is your hard-earned money compounding for someone else, your creditors. Let's look at the king of expensive debt, credit cards. Imagine you have a $15,000 credit card balance with a 15% interest rate. Your minimum payment might be around $300. Sounds manageable, right? Wrong. Unlike an installment loan, like a car loan where your payment is fixed until it's paid off, credit card minimums shrink as your balance goes down. This revolving debt trick means you're often paying tiny amounts that barely touch the principal. How long do you think it would take to pay off that $15,000 paying just the minimum? Brace yourself. 44 years. And the total interest you'd pay? A staggering $24,456.20 on a $15,000 in debt. That's more than the original amount. I've seen this firsthand. My own credit card statement once showed that if I only paid the minimum on a $4,268.57 balance at 16.49% interest, it would take me 17 and cost $9,368 in interest. Your credit card company even tells you this on your statement. Credit card debt is like running a marathon with a thumbtack in your shoe. It's painful, slows you down, and often leaves you with nothing to show for it but a mountain of interest on past lifestyle expenses. Good debt versus bad debt, a nuance you need. You've probably heard about good debt, like mortgages or student loans, and bad debt, credit cards, car loans. The idea is that good debt helps you build wealth or improve your future. Here's the truth. Any debt can be bad if taken to extremes. The family who buys a house they can barely afford, or the student with $150,000 in loans for a degree with limited job prospects, they both experienced good debt gone wrong. Instead of labeling debt as inherently good or bad, let's look at the common types and their true impact. Debt to fund your lifestyle, the absolute worst. This is almost always credit card debt. It's for dinners out, impulse buys, new clothes, or vacations you can't truly afford. When you're living beyond your means, this debt balloons, often with double-digit interest rates. This is the fastest way to derail your financial freedom. Avoid it like the plague. Car loans, sneaky debt. Most people assume car loans are a given, but paying cash for a car forces you to buy what you can actually afford, not just what fits a monthly payment. Salespeople are masters at getting you to focus on the monthly payment, not the total cost or how much interest you'll pay. My wife and I haven't had a car loan since 2005, and it's incredibly freeing. Home loans can be good, can be disastrous. A mortgage is often seen as good debt because homes typically appreciate over the long term. But even a mortgage can turn toxic if you overpay for the home, you buy more house than you can truly afford, straining your budget for decades. You finance almost the entire purchase, leaving you with no equity if values drop. Renting is far more affordable in your area. A home can be a great investment, but a mortgage can also be a massive financial mistake if not approached wisely. Student loans, the new minefield. College used to be a guaranteed ticket to success. Now with tuition skyrocketing, especially at private schools costing $60,000 a year, it's a different game. Not all degrees are created equal in the job market, and a degree isn't worth any price. Before taking on student loan debt, have a plan. Research the typical income for jobs related to your degree. A good rule of thumb, don't borrow more than 1 to 1.5 times your expected first-year income. This crucial step can save you from a lifetime of financial struggle. How debt devours your wealth. Let's revisit my $4,268.57 credit card debt example. If I had just paid the minimum, it would have taken 17 years and cost $9,368 in interest. But what's the real cost? 1. Lost investment growth. If I had invested that $4,068.57 instead of racking up debt on a vacation or whatever, it could have grown to $20,618 over 17 years, assuming a modest 9.3% return. 2. Lost future savings. Those interest payments of $9,368, that's about $45.92 a month. If I had invested that money instead, it would have added another $22,695 to my net worth over the same 17 years. Total impact, that seemingly small $4,268.57 credit card debt would have cost me a whopping $43,330 in lost wealth over 17 years. That's one expensive vacation. Debt and your level 7 journey, a hidden opportunity. I know I said debt makes financial freedom harder, but there's a powerful silver lining. Paying off debt can actually build the financial muscles you need for early retirement. Let's use our hypothetical financial freedom fighter. Annual income, $75,000. Saving rate, 20%, $15,000 per year. Spending rate, 80%, $60,000 a year. Now, let's say $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year of that $60,000 spending goes to non-mortgage debt, student loans, car payments, credit cards. This means their actual current lifestyle spending is only $48,000, $60,000 minus $12,000. Think of it this way. Annual income, $75,000, saving rate 20%, $15,000 per year. Actual lifestyle spending, 64%, 48,000 a year. Debt service, 16%, $12,000 a year. This is huge for two reasons. One, proof of discipline. Our FFF is already living on 64% of their income, proving they have the discipline to live well below their means. Two, the saving rate slingshot. Once that $12,000 in debt payments disappears, they can immediately supercharge their saving rate to 36%. $15,000 are existing savings plus $12,000 freed from debt, $27,000 per year. Even if they choose to spend a little more, they could easily hit a 30% saving rate. Remember how increasing your saving rate creates a slingshot effect? You save more, and your future spending needs decrease. The same powerful effect happens when you pay off debt and redirect those payments to savings and investments. Ready to unleash that slingshot? In the next chapter, we'll walk you through a simple, effective system to tackle your debt head on. I have 3 key concepts to master. Debt doesn't make financial freedom impossible, but it does make it significantly harder. It's like trying to row a boat with a giant hole in it. The silver lining is real. Once your debt is gone, your monthly expenses plummet and your saving rate skyrockets. This accelerates your journey to early retirement. Be hyper aware of good debt turning bad. Buying a home and getting an education are worthy goals, but taking on too much debt to finance them can have devastating, lifelong financial consequences. Chapter 30. Conquer your debt. Unleash your future. Rather go to bed supperless than rise in debt. Benjamin Franklin. Debt can feel like a heavy anchor, dragging you down when all you want to do is swim free towards financial independence. But here's the good news. Getting out of debt is simple. It might not always be easy, but the path is clear. Ready to shed that weight and supercharge your journey to retire before mom and dad? Let's dive into the 4 essential steps. Step 1, stop the bleeding. No more new debt. I know, Captain Obvious reporting for duty, but seriously, this is the most crucial and often the hardest step. Think of it like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. You'll never get anywhere if you keep pouring water in while it's leaking out. My wife and I wrestled with this for years. We weren't drowning in debt, but it was like a constant low-grade fever, annoying, draining, and preventing us from feeling truly healthy financially. Student loans, credit cards, car payments, even a mortgage and a home equity line of credit, HELOC, it all added up. So, how do you slam the brakes on new debt? First, you've got to play detective and identify your weakness. Do small, everyday credit card purchases silently snowball into a massive bill? Or are your daily habits fine, but big, infrequent buys, a new gadget, a spontaneous trip, consistently land you in trouble? Pinpoint where you're vulnerable. Once you know your weak spot, attack it head on. For credit card woes, consider a radical move. Cut up your credit cards. You don't even need to close the accounts that can actually ding your credit score. Just get rid of the physical cards so you can't use them. This isn't about willpower. It's about removing the temptation entirely. Sometimes debt sneaks up because of poor planning. Many people are totally clueless about where their money goes each month. They're shocked when their bank account runs dry. Others budget perfectly for daily expenses but get blindsided by that huge semi-annual car insurance bill. The bottom line, there are a million ways to get into debt, but only one way to get out, by stopping new debt in its tracks. Step 2, clear the clutter. Get rid of what you can. Before we even map out a payment plan, let's play financial minimalist. Take a hard look at your debts. Can you eliminate any immediately? There are 2 main types of debt. The first helps you buy an asset, like a mortgage for a house or a loan for a car. The second is for everything else, that vacation you charged, or even student loans, which don't typically have a tangible asset you can sell to repay them. Here's the powerful question to ask. If you borrowed money to buy something you can now sell, should you sell it? This often comes up with car loans. Now, I'm not here to tell you to sell your beloved car. Especially with new cars, you might be underwater, owe more than it's worth due to depreciation. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't consider it. What I am saying is to honestly evaluate anything you bought on credit. You might decide not to sell a thing, Or you might realize that your $30,000 car isn't as important as reaching financial freedom and you sell it. The key is to at least consider the option. Always ask yourself, what if? This simple question can unlock powerful solutions. Step 3, optimize your outlook. Refinance your debt. This step is a no-brainer. We want to lower the interest rate on every single debt we can. You're probably familiar with refinancing a mortgage, but you can explore refinancing nearly any type of debt. Go through each debt you have and see if you can snag a lower rate. Here are some ideas and resources. Mortgage HELOC. For your home loan or HELOC, check out platforms like LendingTree to compare multiple offers. Don't forget to ask your current lender if they can offer you a better rate. Car loans. If you're keeping your car, see if you can get a better rate on your loan. Again, LendingTree is a solid option for comparing rates. Credit card debt. Got high interest credit card debt? Consider a 0% APR balance transfer card. Many offer intro rates for up to 21 months. There's usually a 3% balance transfer fee, but that's a small price to pay to avoid 15% or more interest payments. This is a game changer if you use it wisely to pay down the principal. Student loans. Federal and private loans are different beasts. If you refinance a federal loan to a lower rate, it becomes a private loan. Be aware that federal loans often come with unique benefits, like potential forgiveness programs and flexible repayment options that private loans don't offer. Evaluate carefully if giving up those protections is worth a lower interest rate. If you decide to go for it, check out reputable lenders like SoFi, Common Bond, and Laurel Road. You can also find more options on sites like Student Loan Hero. Step 4, attack your debt. Snowball versus avalanche. Now for the main event, actively crushing your debt. There are 2 crucial questions here. 1, how much money will you throw at your debt each month? 2, if you're paying more than the minimum, which debt gets the extra cash? 1, how much? The amount you dedicate to debt repayment is personal. Some will barely manage minimum payments, while others have more flexibility but struggle with financial priorities. Besides debt, you might also be thinking about saving and investing for your financial freedom. Saving a down payment for a home, saving for a child's education. There's no single right answer. Someone with 0% credit card debt has vastly different priorities than someone staring down 27% interest. Generally, consider these factors. Interest rate. The higher the rate, the higher the priority. Anything over 10% demands your attention. Retirement matching. If your employer offers a 401k match, contribute enough to get the full match. It's free money and a guaranteed return on your investment. Emergency fund. At a bare minimum, aim for 1 month's worth of expenses saved up. This cushion is vital for unexpected emergencies or job loss. Which debt? Debt snowball versus debt avalanche. If you can pay more than the minimums, you have a choice on where to direct that extra money. Debt snowball. This method suggests paying extra on the debt with the smallest balance first, regardless of its interest rate. The idea is that paying off a debt completely provides a powerful psychological boost, motivating you to keep going. It's like building momentum. Debt avalanche. This approach focuses on the debt with the highest interest rate first. Mathematically, this saves you the most money and gets you out of debt faster because you're attacking the most expensive debt first. So, which is right? Research shows the debt snowball can be incredibly effective for motivation. As one study noted, pay the smallest debt first is a straightforward strategy that can be easily communicated and easily applied, and that's sorely needed by millions of American credit card users. However, math doesn't lie. The debt snowball could cost you more in interest over time, potentially lengthening your debt-free journey. Ultimately, do what works for you. If the satisfaction of quickly knocking out small debts keeps you motivated, go for the snowball. If you're a numbers person and want to save every penny, the avalanche is your play. The goal is the same: get out of debt. 3 key concepts to conquer debt. Debt is an anchor. It makes achieving financial freedom incredibly difficult. Cut it loose. The first and most vital step to becoming debt-free is to stop taking on any new debt. While paying off debt is crucial, don't ignore your other vital financial goals, like building an emergency fund and capturing that sweet employer 401k match. Chapter 31, Your Financial Flow, Investing versus Debt. Avoiding new debt is vastly more important than how fast you pay off your existing debt. Berger. Let's be real. Juggling your finances feels like a three-ring circus sometimes, right? You're eyeing that dream home, building a nest egg for retirement, maybe even saving for your kids' education. And then there are those nagging student loans, credit card balances, and the ever-present need for an emergency fund. Where do you even begin? What's the ultimate priority? The tricky part? Life's a wild card. We can't predict market swings, future income, or when your car will decide to stage a rebellion. So how do we make smart moves without a crystal ball? My goal in this chapter is to flip the script. Debt shouldn't automatically sideline your investing game. We'll dive into the numbers, but first, let's nail down 3 core concepts that will change how you see your money. Concept number 1, start with your North Star. Ever heard of Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? It's a classic for a reason. His second habit, begin with the end in mind, is pure gold for your finances. Every decision you make should steer you toward your ultimate destination. Lose sight of that, and you're a ship without a rudder. So, what's your ultimate destination? Financial freedom. It's not just about hitting a magic number. It's about having the power to live a life on your terms, a life that truly matters to you. Here's the kicker. Financial freedom isn't just about being debt-free. While ditching debt can be a powerful step, it's not the finish line itself. I spent 25 years as an attorney in DC, and I saw countless people with no debt who were anything but financially free. Don't get me wrong, debt can be a massive hurdle, but it shouldn't be your only focus. Don't elevate debt-free above all else if it means sacrificing your bigger picture. Concept 2, multitasking is your superpower. I get tons of questions about financial priorities. The most common? Should I pay off all my debt or start investing for retirement? My answer is almost always, yes, do both. There's no secret rule that says you have to tackle one financial goal at a time. Forget the rigid step-by-step gurus who insist you must save a specific emergency fund, then pay off all debt. Only then can you start investing. That's nonsense. While there might be moments when a single focus makes sense, more often than not, you should be juggling several goals. This could mean consistently adding to your emergency fund and making extra payments on high-interest credit cards and funneling money into your 401k to grab that sweet employer match. Concept number 3, one size does not fit all. Beware of rules of thumb in personal finance, especially the one that screams, always pay off all non-mortgage debt before investing. Let's put that to the test. Imagine a fresh grad with $75,000 in student loans at 6%. If they go all in on debt repayment, ignoring everything else, they might be debt-free in 5 years. Now, what if their employer offers a dollar-for-dollar 401k match up to 6% of their salary? If they blindly follow the pay off debt first rule, they'd miss out on that free money for 5 years. That's like setting cash on fire. It's simply insane to forgo a 100% return, the company match, to pay down 6% debt. On the flip side, if you're drowning in credit card debt with rates soaring at 25% or more, then yes, tackling that monster should probably be your top priority before investing. The bottom line, it's called personal finance for a reason. There's no universal answer. Why investing often trumps debt repayment? In most scenarios, investing shouldn't play second fiddle to debt repayment. That doesn't mean ignoring your debt. It means making smart choices about where your money goes. Here are 5 powerful reasons why. Reason number 1, the match. Many companies offer a 401k match, and this is essentially free money. If your employer offers it, you must contribute enough to get every penny. Let's break it down. Say you make $75,000 and your company matches 50 cents on the dollar up to 6% of your income. 6% of $75,000 is $4,500. Your company kicks in an extra $2,250 just for you contributing $4,500. That's an instant 50% return. Add in potential tax breaks for your contribution, assuming a traditional 401k, and your take-home pay might only drop by about $281 a month. Now, compare that to focusing solely on your $75,000 student loan at 6%, which costs you about $832 a month. If you skip the 401k and threw that extra $281 at your loans, you'd pay them off in about 7 years. But if you contributed to your 401k and paid the minimum on your loans, you'd pay off the loans in 10 years, but your 401k balance could explode to over $110,000 thanks to that employer match and compound growth. The lost opportunity cost of missing the match is huge. Don't let a rigid rule of thumb cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Reason number 2, use it or lose it. Retirement accounts like 401ks and IRAs have annual contribution limits. For example, in 2019, you could contribute up to $19,000 to a 401k and $6,000 to an IRA. Here's the critical part. If you don't use those contribution limits this year, they're gone forever. You can't go back and contribute for missed years. These accounts offer significant tax advantages, so maxing them out to the best of your ability every single year is a no-brainer. Reason number 3, build the habit. Saving money can feel like a chore at first, but like any muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. Eventually, saving and investing becomes second nature. Don't let your savings muscle atrophy while you're focused solely on debt. In fact, developing the habit of consistent investing can actually motivate you to tackle debt even more aggressively. Seeing your investments grow is a powerful motivator to get all your finances in shape. Plus, investing early helps you build the resilience needed to navigate market ups and downs. Reason 4, reality bites. Paying off debt often feels like a 2 steps forward, 1 step back dance. Life happens. Unexpected bills, tempting purchases, and suddenly you've added to your credit again. It's easy to plan for a 5-year debt-free sprint, but what if it turns into 8, 10, or even 15 years? Are you really going to put off investing for that long? As Mike Tyson famously said, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. The same goes for debt repayment. Keep working hard to crush your debts, absolutely, but don't let the unpredictable nature of life delay your investing journey. Reason number 5, time is your ally. This is the big one. Building true wealth takes time. The sooner you get your money working for you through investing, the more powerful compounding becomes. Think about it. Every dollar you invest today has more time to grow and multiply than a dollar invested 5 years from now. Your financial compass. As you set your own financial priorities, keep these vital points in mind. Exceptions abound. Not all debt is created equal. Federal student loans, for instance, might have unique features like income-driven repayment plans or even forgiveness programs. These need to be factored into your unique financial strategy. They won't fit neatly into a general rule of thumb. Beyond the numbers. While this book focuses on the math of financial freedom, remember that money is emotional. If a specific debt, even one with a lower interest rate like 8%, is causing you sleepless nights, that's a problem you need to address. Don't push it down your priority list just because a book tells you to. Your peace of mind matters. Embrace change. The financial landscape is constantly evolving. My 10% interest rate line in the sand is arbitrary and based on today's low-rate environment. Interest rates change, economic conditions shift, and your personal circumstances will evolve. There's no one-size-fits-all answer for everyone. Learn as much as you can, then make the smartest decisions for your unique situation. 3 key concepts to remember. 1. While paying off debt is important, saving and investing for your future should be your primary financial focus. 2. Ignoring your employer's 401k match is a costly mistake that robs you of free money. 3. Preventing new debt from piling up is far more critical than how quickly you pay off your existing obligations. Chapter 32, No More Excuses, Just Start. I attribute my success to this. I never gave or took an excuse. Florence Nightingale. My mission for you is crystal clear. Start saving and investing today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. We've already tackled how debt shouldn't hold you back. Now let's crush those other common objections that whisper, yes, but. Look, everyone's journey is unique. There are rare, extreme situations where investing right this second just isn't possible. But for most of you reading this, young professionals and creatives eager to build a better future, you absolutely can and should invest something, anything, starting now. Let's bust those myths holding you back. I have too little to invest. False. We've already uncovered the magic of compounding, showing how small amounts grow into massive wealth over time. You don't need a fat bankroll to begin. You can start with as little as $25 a month, sometimes even less. Many 401k plans have no minimum contribution, and investing platforms like Betterment make it incredibly easy to start with just a few bucks. If that feels like too big a leap, simply open an online savings account. You won't earn much interest, but the goal is to build the habit and hit that first $1,000. Once you do, you can roll it into a Vanguard target date retirement fund and let the real growth begin. The takeaway? You don't need a lot of money to start investing. Just start. I'm too young. This one blows my mind, especially after understanding the mind-blowing power of time. Investing isn't some old people club. It's for anyone who wants to take control of their financial destiny. The truth is, the younger you start, the easier and more powerful your journey to financial freedom becomes. Imagine if you'd started investing with your first part-time job in high school. Even tiny contributions then would be monstrous today. Take Steven, a college freshman I worked with. He started investing money from his part-time jobs into a Vanguard target date fund, and he's already on the fast track to financial freedom. See yourself as an investor, no matter your age. Investing is for anyone ready to build wealth. The sooner you embrace it, the less effort it takes later. I'm too old. It's never too late to start building a more secure financial future. Don't let past regrets paralyze you. The idea that saving and investing in your later years is pointless is a destructive myth. My mom faced a similar too old dilemma when she considered finishing her college degree in her 40s. My response was simple. Mom, in a few years, you'll be 50. You can either be 50 with a college degree or 50 without one. The choice is yours. She went for it, earning her degree and enjoying a 20-plus year teaching career. The same applies to investing. You can be 60 with some solid investments or 60 with none. The choice is always yours. I don't have an emergency fund. An emergency fund is your financial safety net. Life throws curveballs, a busted car, a broken furnace, an unexpected medical bill. Having cash set aside for these moments is smart. If you're starting from zero savings, building an emergency fund is your first step. The common rule of thumb is 3 to 6 months of living expenses, but don't treat it as gospel. My wife and I keep a full year's worth. Customize it to your comfort. Dedicate the next 6 months to building that emergency fund. Once you have a comfortable cushion, reevaluate. Then, start funneling some of your future earnings into your 401k, especially if there's an employer match or an IRA. Remember, you can and often should tackle multiple financial priorities simultaneously. It's not all or nothing. First, I need to save for a home or a car or my child's education. Most of us juggle multiple financial goals: a down payment, paying off student loans, saving for a kid's college, that dream vacation, or a home renovation. It's rare to have just one goal. But here's the crucial point. Saving to build wealth and achieve financial freedom should be your absolute number one priority. This doesn't mean ignoring other goals. You can contribute to multiple goals each month. However, always keep your eye on that financial freedom prize first. It's the foundation for everything else. I don't know how. This is the easiest objection to obliterate. Investing might seem like a mysterious beast with its jargon, asset allocation, ETFs, small cap stocks, oh my. But don't let the language intimidate you. We've already broken it down. You now know you can build a powerful investment portfolio with just a single target date fund, or if you're feeling adventurous, with a simple 3-fund portfolio. No excuses. Key takeaways for your financial freedom journey. Your objections are common, but they're not roadblocks. Work through them. Your future depends on it. The obstacle is the way. Identify what's holding you back from investing, then run towards it and conquer it. You'll have many financial goals throughout your life. Making financial freedom your number one priority will empower you to achieve them all. Chapter 33. Beyond the Finish Line, Your Financial Freedom Journey. It is not the critic who counts. Theodore Roosevelt. You've made incredible strides. Seriously, pat yourself on the back. You've navigated through key financial concepts and you're now armed with the knowledge to reshape your future. Think of it like this. You've leveled up, but this isn't the final boss. It's the beginning of your epic quest for financial freedom. For me, this journey kicked off later than I'd have liked, around age 40. Before then, money was just money to spend. The idea that it could buy something far more valuable, financial freedom, was a complete blind spot. No grand crisis, no lightning bolt moment. Just one day, a simple yet powerful question popped into my head. What if? What if I could be just as happy with less stuff? What if I had total control over my happiness, unburdened by material things? What if the things I thought were bringing me joy were actually doing the opposite? These what-if questions were game changers. They forced me to zoom in on what I could control: my money, my health, my mindset. My biggest hope for you is that this book has sparked similar questions within you. Yes, the strategies here can absolutely help you retire before mom and dad, whether that means early retirement in your 30s or a comfortable on-time retirement in your 50s. But the true power of this book isn't just about the when of retirement. It's about unlocking financial freedom. Once you've achieved that, the possibilities are endless. It's your life, your rules. So no matter your age, I urge you to dare greatly, as Teddy Roosevelt put it. Ask those profound what-if questions. Experiment with a 21-day money challenge. Start saving and investing today, even if it's just a small amount like $25 a month. Whatever you do, don't let your financial journey end in regret, neither knowing victory nor defeat. Get in the arena, take action, and build the life you truly want. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.